How you doing, folks? Let's get her going again. I'll get set up here while everyone gets notified. Annette has her invitation. Let me see, YouTube. Okay, this is good. Let's do this. Hey, Thomas, how you doing? Anna Lee, Christian. Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's doing okay. We're back live for the second time today. I'm just getting situated here. The crowd's starting to file in, which is nice. Annette did text me earlier today from New Hampshire saying the Wi-Fi was good. So I'm sure she's just doing the fashionably late thing. And then we'll get to your questions once we get caught up, which is nice. If you missed it, we were live with Svetlana Rozgon earlier today, my Ukrainian friend, one of, and she gave us a cool update. So if you have a chance, check that video out. I slightly edited it, the file afterwards, and I'll replay that either, I don't know, whenever you guys want me to, prime time. It could be tomorrow night, Friday night, whatever. I usually throw the Annette replay in on Saturday nights just to have something in there between our Wednesdays together. So whatever night works for you guys, I can do that. I actually do that while I'm doing the show tonight. So anyway, hey, Wilk, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. I'm trying to think of what else is on. We're coming off the heels of a big night last night where we all got to meet Old Guy. So we'll see if Old Guy pops in tonight. Christian, the show with Old Guy last night was epic. The chat with Svetlana was informative and very sobering. Tonight is the icing on the cake. Yeah, cheers to that, Christian. So we shall see. Let's see. I have a ton of questions tonight too. Hi, Giselle. How you doing? Good to see you. Oh yeah. Okay. Questions are squared away. Yeah, we'll see who wants to pop on next and be a special guest. You never know. And if you missed it earlier, we actually did hear from Yoon last night, of course, after the show ended, and she never got a notification that we were on. So who knows? That could just mean that her alarm didn't go off, but the Tuesday night thing has become pretty regular. Wildfire Wind, how you doing? Sandra Spidel, hey y'all, I'm going to watch the update in Ukraine with Svetlana later. Good to be here. Good to see you. Libra Lady. Back at work. Okay. Well, we'll do a little bridge radio for you tonight. Annalie wants Warren and Damon. That's interesting. That could happen. I have not heard from Dion. Linda, how you doing tonight? Should be a fun one. Let me get this out of the way. I like to have my phone at the ready just in case Annette texts, but we should be all right to go. Yeah, not together. I think, yeah, 3 might be doable. But yeah, 1 seemed easier. One bridge buddy at a time. So if you just tuning in, hello. It is not snowing here. It was actually flurries for most of the day here in Gloucester. We're getting prepared for our first crazy cold snap of the year. I think it's like a 36-hour event where it's going to be around 0 and wind chills 20 to 40 below. And then the next day is supposed to push 50 degrees. So, all right. Hey, Annette's iPad is here. Let's bring her in. Hey, Dee Dee, how you doing? There's Warren making a grand entrance. Can you hear the trumpets? Coming to us from parts unknown. Don't give me a hard time.
Wow. I make things happen.
Oh, look, you have one of those living room backgrounds like I always have.
Yeah, but it's real.
Yeah, it is.
My thing still says Annette's iPad.
And now let me change that for you.
I know, I have to change it. I'm gonna open the window to get some fresh mountain air.
Okay. You do what you have to do.
All right. What's going on? I actually did a video Monday night, and I did a video, well, we did our Zoom meeting last night. And it worked out pretty well. So the Wi-Fi's happening up here in the mountains of New Hampshire.
Yeah, you look and sound good. So yeah, we're doing
Good.
all right.
I'll bring it a little closer.
So Annette, we should catch you up on a couple of big stories that happened in the last
With
couple of days.
like with you?
With me. So number one is that the founder of Peeps, Bob Bourne, passed away a couple of days.
I heard. So you know what? I have a story to tell you.
Go ahead.
My friend who's visiting from
Smashville.
she brought me a shirt. She brought me a sweatshirt. She just went to the store to get some Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
And I have 3 packs of Peeps. So she's gonna melt the Peeps down to commemorate the founder of the Peeps who died at age 98. So apparently that's a testimonial to the health value of Peeps.
Yeah, I think like everyone needs to add more marshmallow to their diet.
Unless he didn't eat them. It's possible he didn't eat them.
Ever. He just knew better.
He might have, he might have just gotten sick of them.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have Rice Krispie Peep treats.
So this was my backdrop for that last night. Let me change it real quick.
I like you look like you're in New Hampshire too with that background.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, the snow up here. This
What
is
do you think
wild.
about this, Annette?
Oh no, it's too Easter-like.
But look, it's a Peeps funeral.
Oh, I see that now. Kind of small on my end.
It took me all afternoon to do that.
No, you didn't do that.
No, I didn't.
But you found that.
Yeah, that was actually, it was much easier to find than I thought.
Well, maybe because he just passed away. Maybe somebody just mocked that up just because of the death of what was his name? Mr.
I believe it was Ira or Bob Ira Bourne. Bob Bourne, something like that. Born.
And where did he live?
He was a New Yorker. I don't know where he died, but he was a New Yorker.
Okay. That is so cute.
See a little cowboy on the wall?
Hey, look, no, it's a Twinkie.
The cowboy might be.
No, it's a
The
Twinkie.
Twinkie. Oh yeah, the Twinkie is in the
It's a
casket.
Twinkie in the casket. It's not even a Peep.
Attended by Peeps.
I didn't know they were friends. Maybe they're related. They probably are because they came out around the same time. I bet you anything.
Yeah. And they're both indestructible, or so we thought.
Yeah, there's a lot of, sugar. Sugar's a preservative.
Let's get back to New Hampshire here. So anyway, so that happened. But then, you know what else happened last night? Well, as I fielded questions for you, I was joined by a special guest.
Was it Andre?
It was old guy.
Old guy. Oh, the only reason I said Andre was because he's an astrologer and he was wanting to be on last week. So we'll see if he's here.
Yeah.
Old guy?
2 hours old guy spent with me last night.
I didn't see it because I don't watch that, obviously, because you were gathering questions.
Yeah. But it was really,
Wow.
we just got to know him a bit, it was a lot of fun.
And was he old? Or is that relative?
Yeah, probably. No, yeah. People thought he should change his name to Nice Guy after his
Nice young guy.
Yeah, nice younger guy. Not as old guy.
We'll work on that.
Not so old guy. So anyway, so that was a lot of fun last night too. So anyway, there was that. And then earlier today I went live with Svetlana. We got caught up with her. Had to go out a half-hour chat with her. So she was doing well. She has her family is actually staying with her now in the States. They came here.
Excellent.
She had an update. So we had a link. People, a lot of people donated today or bought from the Amazon wish list to ship things over back to Ukraine. So that was really nice. So that's up there for you folks. And I'll slightly edit that just to pare down some of the dead space as I waited for Savannah and things like that. And then I'll play it again either tomorrow night, 7 p.m. or Friday night, 7 p.m. One of those nights it'll be on, whatever works. But anyway, so that's it. So yeah, a lot was going
on. And you're putting the link in the description?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll check it out. I
It's
know
in
the
there,
last
actually.
time I noticed that, I think that I couldn't get there until June. Remember, we didn't know how long the war was gonna go on, and I still think it's gonna end soon, but anyway, we'll look at that.
Right. And she was relatively optimistic, all things considered. So, but it just seems more
In what
part of
way,
like,
like, in what way was she optimistic? What did she say?
well, I think they're just like going to work. They're resolved, they're determined, they're doubling down. They know a lot of Russian troops have abandoned the work, like they've sort of taken off for Turkey and Poland and Georgia, she mentioned as well, Moldova, to avoid fighting because they don't want to. Another interesting thing she pointed out was they're not sure if they think Putin has a lot of doppelgangers or body doubles doing work for him. So they're not convinced that Putin's either alive or well. So
He's dead.
oof.
I've already read on that.
Yeah.
Like as of about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I didn't feel his life energy anymore. And also early on, I had said that I feel like Russia will ultimately be a democracy. And I feel people rising up and revolting, and that includes the military. I feel something like a mutiny happening. But I mean, I can check the pendulum. I don't think he's still with us on the earthly plane.
Okay.
He might be trying to straighten it out on the other side. Although I don't know how you can straighten out what he did. Is Vladimir Putin, I get no. I get that he's no longer on the physical plane. So what was she saying about a possible body double?
Well, that's the assumption, because they say that it's sort of common knowledge that he has several body doubles.
Oh, I didn't know. I hadn't heard that, but
Yeah,
I'm not surprised because I also have said, and you remember this, that Kim Jong-un is not the original. He's not.
Hmm.
And actually, you can see, if you read energy, if you're sensitive to that, most people are in some way, you can tell. You can tell. And actually, the new Kim Jong-un, I'll just call him the new Kim Jong-un, he was photographed around his, I think, children. I don't know if they were his children, or posing as children. There's a different energy about him. Like there's almost a little bit of empathy. Like Kim Jong-un, the original.
Yeah, 1.0.
We're talking about a brand or something. The original was, his energy was really like cement, just cold, like cold concrete, just really, really dense and really, really hard energy. But the new Kim Jong-un too feels to me to be more, I mean, I don't mean gentle, but just has a little less of that cold vibe. I don't know if people are commenting on that in the chat, but that's what I get.
Good enough.
Really strong.
Yeah. So lots happening right now, Annette. So what's going on in your world?
Well, Sarah, I just wanted to tell you, last week, Andre was in the chat and he was wondering how to get on. And I haven't spoken to him yet about it. I did send him an email that we need to send him a Zoom link. So if he happens to show up, I don't know why we're missing each other.
Oh, show up in the live chat tonight to follow up?
If he shows up in the live chat, I want to see if we can get him on because I want to talk about this comet.
Okay.
I haven't heard any astrological take on this comet. You know about the comet?
No, tell me about it.
I can't even believe how many people don't know about this comet. What are we all like being kept from this information? There's a huge green comet that's going to be visible tomorrow. It's going to be closest to the Earth, like 26,000 light miles. I don't know, miles, something like that. I'm not an astronomer either. And it's going to be closest to Earth tomorrow, but in the wee hours of the morning, right before the sun rises, is the best time to see it. And there was a picture of it online, and it really was. It was green, like the 16-year-old kid took this picture. It's amazing.
Mm.
And I feel a lot of energy shifts happening with it, which is why I'm so surprised that people haven't asked about it. I'm finding myself holding on to my rune stones.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to pick a rune stone about the comic because, you know, we're all in a different kind of vibe here. So different environments.
Well, explain this to me. I've never seen this before, Annette.
It's funny. I just got this one the other day. You haven't seen the rune cards? The rune stones?
No, I don't know what this is all about. I've never seen this before.
You were a Viking in a past life. You should know this.
Holy crap, Annette, you might want to ring the bell first.
I don't have the bell.
Oh my God, I don't have anything to ring.
I'm out of town. I forgot my bell.
Old guy, ring the bell.
I'm lucky that I remembered what I remembered. Is there something else I can do? I don't have anything else to ring.
Do one cartwheel.
I can't. I just there's a really low ceiling that's slanted, and because it's kind of like an attic room. You can probably see. And wait, yeah. See, so I bumped my head about 5 times already.
Oh, you were like in a ski chalet?
Not really. It's a cabin, and it's really interesting because I pulled up, and my friend who also knows Sadhguru, because I kind of introduced her to Sadhguru in 1998. She came to visit, and we're planning an event with Sadhguru, kind of a surprise. And so I pull up to this place, and guess what's outside the place? This big flag that says yoga.
Really?
Oh, what are the chances of that?
I know.
I mean, we're kind of in like the boonies here.
Well, anyway, so Michelle Shelton has I think she just bought us both dinner, Annette. It was a big tip to the channel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We need
Michelle,
a different kind of a thing to do.
She says, thank you for all you both do, with a big purple heart.
Oh, tell her we love her.
We love you, Michelle, and we're hoping. So maybe we'll be with Andre the astrologer next week. We'll let everyone know ASAP.
Well, I emailed him. I don't know if he's getting my emails. I pulled this one, this rune. Okay, the runes they're from Viking times. As far as I know, they're now. Excuse me, I'm not a student of runes, but I find them very interesting. They are based on some mythology from the Nordic gods. And this is called, hang on. These are my moonstone runestones. I know I showed these to you before because I got them from the store before it closed. That's in Gloucester.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sacred Circles.
And yes, there it is. This is called Pertho. So what I'm doing is I'm reading about the effect of this comet. So everybody check it out. And you should be able to see it with just binoculars. But remember like Hale-Bopp and Halley's Comet, and when there was a comet coming close to Earth, people were just like all talking about it?
Yeah.
What happened to that?
I don't know. But yeah, it was a big deal. Well, Halley's Comet was a big deal. Now, I think more people noticed other things. I think the vocabulary of what's going on in the cosmos became more familiar with people in the last 30, 40 years too. Because before it was just like, well, here's Halley's Comet. Hey, we can look at Mars. Now there's so many things you can look at.
When was the last time you heard about a comet coming this close?
Didn't something just miss us within the last month? Was it a meteor? Well, it came relatively close. I'm talking like in the last few weeks, I thought something happened. Is that true, folks?
Did you tell us about it?
Maybe it was maybe I was just watching a Bruce Willis movie.
Might have been a movie. Might have been. Did you see? We talked about Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
That was about a meteorite.
Yeah.
Pertho. Ability, control of the situation, protection, assured, precious intuition, the stroke of genius, winnings. So I just have the little book today. I don't have the cards. So it really feels like this is going to accelerate good, hopeful things happening. And it's a really important time to focus on protection and to focus on paying attention to our intuition.
Mm.
I think our intuition becomes heightened during this time. So I'm gonna look into it a little bit more, and I'm gonna get up before dawn
All
and
right.
look up in the sky because there's not very many streetlights here.
Yeah. You're in a nice part of the country.
And I didn't even time that way. I didn't even time it that way. It was just like I just felt like, you know, it's Imbolc. It's a Wiccan Sabbath. Imbolc is the time of the year. See, this is Imbolc.
Yeah.
When we celebrate the very first stirrings of spring under the ground. It's when, I think we talked about this last year. Seems like we did. I would have brought it up. When the moms start nursing their calves. I guess it's kind of like calving season. And so it's the very, very beginning, like vestiges of spring.
Mm.
So under that really frigid ground that's in your background.
Yeah.
Even though you can't see it, there's life under there getting ready to sprout.
Is there?
There really is. I know it's hard to see. And you might see a little hole with a groundhog poking up.
Yeah.
That might happen.
I didn't even see what happened with that.
With the groundhog, and it's not till tomorrow.
Well, I know.
Because it's not the day yet.
Yeah, you don't see anything about it though, leading up to it's just that morning. Like, oh hey. So by the way, that was asteroid BU 2023 just past Earth. Thanks, Maggie G.
But that's an asteroid. That's not a comet.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so are we do you know what deck we're using tonight? Let's do deck, moon phase.
Oh, let me see what I brought.
Yeah.
I did do a video Monday night from a different location, and it was funny because it was kind of haunted. This place that I'm in now it's not as haunted, but through the whole video people were like, I see an orb, I see an orb, I see an orb, I see another orb. So there was like, it was a farmhouse, there was a farmer in there. He was a dairy farmer. This is a world that I live in.
You see things. You know things.
I sense things. All right. I guess since I don't have a table in front of me, I have to do it like that. I'm gonna keep turning.
That's fine. We understand.
Yeah, that's gotta change it up once in a while.
Yeah. So if you're just tuning in, folks, you are watching the Psychic and the Sidekick. She is the psychic Annette Dion coming at you from the White Mountains in beautiful New Hampshire, the Granite State. Live free or die. And I'm coming to you from Gloucester, Massachusetts.
It's like the quintessential New England. I mean, I'm right down the road from Currier and Ives. I was trying to explain to my friend what that is, and I really couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
Do you know Currier and Ives?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we used to spend time up in what burned down not long ago. The Fox, was it the Fox Run? Or
I have no idea.
The famous hotel up there in the White Mountains.
The
North
one,
Conway.
the huge. I know exactly what
Was
you
it
mean.
the Red Fox Inn or something like that?
No,
Not the Red Fox.
I think it might be the White Mountain Resort.
Was it? I thought Fox was somewhere in the title, but
Yeah,
the Red Fox
exactly
Inn.
where that is. I didn't know they had a fire. That place is haunted too. It's very haunted.
I
Maybe
imagine.
the ghost started the fire. Okay, so the community cards for right now. A lot of people, and I came up with this the other night too. A lot of people are feeling really this is too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much work. It's too much to think about. It's just too much. Too much. Simplify your life. This is a card for the collective. I just keep getting that message. Simplify it. Break it down. Don't, like, for instance, don't take the news in big chunks, just one little bit at a time. And stop fretting about things that you don't have any control over. And the things that you do feel like you have some semblance of control over, just make them manageable. Be more present moment. And this is a time of stabilizing yourself. So if anyone needs help with that, you can reach out to me. If you need help stabilizing yourself, you can come to our 20 on Tuesday meditation group. So we meditate for Healed America every single week. The Queen of Cups, this week, we're going to see a lot of females being highlighted as having made important decisions and pivotal decisions and choices. This feels like the justice system It's funny. I've been talking a long time about feeling a lot of female judges and women being hugely impactful in the judicial system and the court systems. And then come to find out, Joe Biden has appointed more female judges than any other time in history. And we have people like, prosecutors like Letitia James and Fani Willis. She's the, I think she's the attorney general. I think I have that right, in Georgia. Anyway, I feel like we're going to see a lot of, there's a lot that's kind of rising to the surface in terms of those investigations and trials. And I know that Trump is slated to be indicted really soon. And I think that kind of points to that. And where did my pendulum go? There it is. Because I want to ask, is Trump going to be indicted? Is he going to be indicted this week? Not this week. Is he going to be indicted next week? It looks like next week he could be indicted. Something's going to happen. It's getting ready. I feel like there's a lot of things brewing, and I'm just I keep on thinking about the groundhog, like coming up to the surface. It's like things that are underground. I think that's why we have Groundhog Day, because it's like symbolic too. It's like what's been under the ground is coming to the surface to reveal what's happening. So it's kind of a metaphor too.
Well, you just wiped out about half our questions. It was all about Trump's indictment.
I'm so psychic.
Seriously. Yeah. All right.
Really? What was the question?
I got they're scattered in here, but I know we had a bunch just asking when it was going to happen.
It looks like it's brewing this week. It looks like it's kind of everything's just, it's like it's starting to boil.
Mm.
And then it looks like early next week. Did Warren ask when?
Or what's he asked already? He likes
When?
to pepper us with questions. Oh, I know he asked who, if Putin isn't leading Russia and Kim isn't leading North Korea, then who's making the decisions there?
It's kind of like a group of people.
Hmm.
It's kind of like a committee, like the cohorts.
Cabal.
The cabal. We shouldn't say things like that. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
And I feel the military, just speaking of Putin, I feel the military kind of defecting, turning on him.
Mm.
Russia's got nothing now. I mean, Putin just spent all the money and, according to my perception, died.
Or the actor playing Putin.
I don't know if they're going to let it out. I don't know. I can look at that.
All right.
Are we gonna, okay, I have read in this actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And what I read was that we weren't going to find out if Putin has passed factually for a little while, but it was going to leak out. And it's going to leak out through a Russian media, independent media organization. Like there was this one called RAIN. A lot of these, maybe all of them, had to flee from Russia because they were going to be assassinated if they stayed there, because Putin was attempting to shut them down last year at this time. And I feel like that they're gonna leave. It's really hard nowadays in the age of the internet to keep secrets. And that would be a big ass secret.
I told a bunch of secrets about you last night.
Every Tuesday at 7, I have my group, so I can never even snoop.
Yeah.
And I don't want to know the questions anyway. But I feel like it's going to leak, and we'll find out through, like, these young people have these media outlets. They had them in Russia, but some of them fled and they set up in different places, which they're probably not totally easy to trace right now because they have to hide. But I feel like the information about his demise will be leaked out through, it feels like young people. They'll let the news out.
Mm.
Somebody's gonna do it. You can't keep that kind of news down. There's no way. I mean, even if there's a double,
or
People
triple.
are more intuitive, like that rune card, that rune that Stone just said. People are having a heightened intuition now. It's a really great time to develop your psychic skills. Speaking of which, I have a pendulum class on Saturday.
That's right. I mentioned that last night too.
Yeah. Thank you for advertising for me.
Of course, we always do that.
Much appreciated.
We like to cram it down people's throats. If you want a reading with Annette, just go to psychicannettedeon.com, or you could email her at AnnetteDeon7, that's the number 7 at gmail.com.
I love to hear from people, and I've got plenty of space for readings next week.
Beautiful. Folks, it is the top of the hour here, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You are watching the latest episode of The Psychic and the Sidekick. She is a psychic, Annette Deon, coming to us from the White Mountains in beautiful New Hampshire tonight. I'm Corey from Bridge, Cape Ann, the host with the most, coming at you from Gloucester, Massachusetts, a little northeast
But it
corner.
looks like you're right down the street.
I know. We could be in the same spot. That could be you somewhere back in there somewhere. Wait.
Yeah, I know. It's like it was snowing here like that yesterday. It was a beautiful day today. It looks like the sun's peeking out behind you.
It's beautiful. I don't know if that's sunrise or set, but it's.
I think it's gotten brighter. It looks like kind of setting to me.
Yeah, I think so too.
You get to pick.
Yeah, I'll go. We'll go with sunset tonight, or sunrise if Yoon happens to pop in anytime soon.
Hey, have you ever night skied?
I have.
Because I was like, I was telling my viewers the other night, I need to get out more because I was driving, it was dark, and I was like, what is that beautiful, those beautiful lights down the side of the mountain? I'm like, duh.
Yeah, but I only remember doing it on basically the bunny slopes because they were easily lit and closest to the emergency personnel and all that at night. But we used to inner tube down the slopes.
I've done that. That's not
fun. That's scary as hell, but it's fun.
Yeah. Well, is it dark when you?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
You just have to trust the slope, and you do. I mean, you're going down the regular slope, but it's scary.
It's scary enough when it's light.
Yeah.
Did you go to Sunapee?
Well, I lived Burke Mountain in Vermont for a while.
Oh, okay.
We used to go to Bretton Woods a lot, and Sugarloaf too.
Yeah, nice.
Bretton Woods is New Hampshire, Sugarloaf's up in Maine. Burke Mountain's in northeastern Vermont. So, yeah.
Very nice. My friend's gonna go skiing tomorrow. I'm not gonna go skiing.
Why not? What are you gonna do instead? Snowshoe or don't nap? Don't sleep in there.
I think my sister and my niece are coming up. They don't nap. I don't nap.
Did you cook?
What the heck is that?
Did you cook at all for this week?
I made a little soup this morning, which I thought would come out awful, but it came out really good. But I met her in Manchester because she flew into Boston for some reason. So we kind of met halfway, and I said, let's meet at this Indian restaurant. So we got some Indian food.
Oh, nice.
And tonight afterwards, I'm gonna make some fish. I bought some codfish.
And there's a huge Indian population in the White Mountains too. Lots of good Indian food there. There's not.
Actually, there's a couple in Manchester.
Fair. Yeah, that's true. Now, we want to start with the moon phase tonight.
Oh, start with the moon phase. Well, I started with the community cards.
Yeah.
I don't have my calendar with me.
Anyone know the moon phase? How about we go into? I actually have a question that helps us sort of touch upon that, and we get a moon question in to start things off. How's that?
Well, ask the people in the chat where the moon is right now.
Yeah, folks, where is the moon right now? No wiseacre comments either. Where is the moon right now?
Who's mooning who? I feel like I should go sit back there in that big chair.
It looks comfy.
I would get lost.
I
haven't sat in it because I don't know if I could get out. So
yeah, you would nod off by the second hour.
I just go back there and yell at you.
Yeah.
The moon is in.
Let's see. Oh, the full moon is February 5th. I have a question about that soon, Tammy.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
3 Willow Breeze. I think the moon is in Cancer, says Warren Green. Cancer, says Nancy Jones. The moon is in Cancer.
So it's a full moon in Gemini?
Cancer, Sarah with an H. Cancer.
Wait.
Is the full moon in Gemini? The full moon's February 5th. So
it would be in Leo. No, the full moon would be in Leo, I think. Wait a minute. Is that right? It must be in Leo. Full moon. February. is in, let's see. I should ask for this. It's the snow moon. Are you getting any answers? Sometimes
Full
it takes
moon in Leo, says Sherry.
Yeah, it's in Leo. Okay. An unpredictable element will come into play during this astrological event. As the sun and moon. Wait a minute.
A waxing gibbous, my favorite kind of moon.
You're just making that up.
No, I know what that's all about.
An unpredictable element will come into play during this astrological event. Hang on, I need to read this to you. This seems really important.
Okay.
The fiery energy of the lion will be available for everyone to draw from during this full moon. This is an intense week with the comet and this full moon.
And the Peeps guy.
I know. He's in peep heaven. He's doing good, I think. As if full moons weren't intense enough on their own, Venus and Mars will bring some added drama to the day. So drama, Leo is the sign of drama.
Ugh.
Leos need to be the center of attention. It's a fixed sign. The Leos can be very arrogant and very stubborn, and those are the negative qualities.
Pain in the ass, Leo.
But there are lots of positive qualities too, but those are the negatives. So err on the side of, being happy and positive and energetic. Emotions will be heightened, threatening to trigger mood swings, agitation, and conflict. So that's a negative side of Leo. These sentiments will be felt most strongly within romantic entanglements. If you're about to get in a fight with your partner, if you're partnered, don't. Just go. What was I teaching you, Corey? You're doing good tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, dear. Yeah. I mean, with everybody, right? Mm-hmm. But especially with romantic relationships, bringing strain to the relationships that may already be on the rocks. Words could do some serious damage right now, making it important that you maintain a diplomatic and reasonable disposition. What that brings to mind is Trump. I think Trump might have Leo rising. I think that's correct. It seems like I heard that.
We'll send the hounds on that.
I think that what we're going to see is Trump really being belligerent and combative. And I'm not sure what event in particular will.
It doesn't sound like him.
He's that way anyway, but I just feel like things are heating up around the full moon, and I'm pretty sure he does have Leo rising. Okay, so that's what to look out for at the end of the week. What is it? The 5th or the 6th?
The 5th.
Yeah.
Sunday, yep. Sunday the 5th.
Everybody cool your jets.
Starting with you, Dion.
I'm cool. Everything is cool, man. What did Conan O'Brien used to say? Be cool, my babies. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I was actually watching a Conan clip before we went on tonight. It was funny.
You were? I must have picked up on that because I haven't thought about Conan for a while.
That's so weird. It was like the last thing I saw. It ended at 10 minutes before we went on. He and Kevin Hart and Ice Cube were helping like one of Conan's staff members, like this young girl. She was taking her driving lessons. So the three of them went with her.
Oh my God.
It was funny. It was a good clip. Yeah, look for that one.
I will. It was funny. That had to be hilarious.
They stopped by a weed dispensary. They filled up this giant piñata just of weed. They sold this place out.
Did they smoke while she was doing her driving test?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, at one point, Conan, because he doesn't smoke, was driving the car, and then the three of them are smoking.
The designated driver. That's hilarious.
It was a good one. So, okay. Thanks for being patient with us, folks. Annette and I, we like our banter, and we like getting caught up on stuff, and we like to get a few things out of the way before we get to the questions.
Did this require patience? I thought we were informing the people and doing a service. They need to be patient?
Well, every now and then, the newbies get confused. They're like, where are the predictions? But we get to them.
They'll come back.
Melissa Morris Hillman, and that's a new name in the chat. And she asked, says, hi, Corey and Annette. What are your signs? So I'm an Aries, but Annette says I have a ton of Libra rising in me.
No, I didn't say that. Your astrologer said that.
Oh, that's right, my astrologer. We'll see if Andre can confirm.
Now I told you what it meant.
Yeah. And
I
it
think
makes
she told
sense.
you. I think she told you what it meant too, but it kind of got lost in the shuffle of your past life drama.
Yeah, which there was plenty.
There
Apparently.
was a lot.
A lot going on, folks. And what sign are you in that?
Sagittarius.
Oh, that's right. That troublesome
Yeah.
Sagittarius.
With Mars and Leo in the 10th house. So Mars and Leo, it's going to be a big weekend for me.
Mm-hmm.
In the house of my career.
That's right.
Interestingly enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have to find out more about your chart.
That's what Andre's for. He won't run away. He might, but we'll see. We'll test him. All right, Annette, our first question comes from Art Gal. We haven't seen from Art Gal in a while. So
wait, have you not asked me a question yet? Is that why you said we're just getting started?
Well, we rolled into, you went into Trump and indictments. We off the Svetlana thing, we went into Ukraine and Putin. So the moon phase.
I was answering the questions before the questions were asked.
What are you drinking tonight?
Just water with lemon.
Oh, that's my drink. Hot? Is it hot?
I have lemon water all day, every day.
Yeah, me too.
But I didn't drink enough water today. I kind of forgot. So I'm going to fill this up a few times.
Cheers.
To lemon water. I hear it's really good to, cleanse your system.
And I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Art Gal says, Annette and Corey, thank you for all you do to bring light to our crazy world energy.
Oh.
Thanks, Art Gal. Annette, I'm wondering if you have any wisdom to help us all be grounded during this upcoming full moon.
Abso-freaking-lutely. That's what I'm here for.
Now that's a question I can
more water, but I just want to show you that my shirt matches your background.
I thought you're going to show off your biceps and your anchor tattoo.
It matches your background. It matches your sky.
It does. Where the hell are you going?
To get my water.
No.
I just had some Indian food. It was a little salty.
Well, keep yourself grounded when you answer this question.
Okay, so how to stay.
If you have any wisdom to help us all be grounded during this upcoming full moon.
All right, hang on. I'm going to sing. I have a brand new chant, and I sing it at my Church of Spirituality every Sunday. And it goes like this. I'm going to teach it to you. I'm in the present, mind and body, here and now. I'm in the present, breathing, intending, all is well.
We're gonna have to pass the hat after that one, Annette.
It works. So that's one way.
You should be the singing psychic.
I am the singing psychic, actually.
All answers should be sung.
Truth be known.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So that was an answer that I sang. My guides are so generous with music, with inspiration, and I'm really grateful for that. So one day I was walking and it just popped into my head, and it was like, this is my New Year chant. So bring all your focus into the present moment. Like I said at the beginning, I pulled the 7 of Pentacles, and there's a couple other cards that I pulled early on. The Queen of Cups was there that were indicative of there was a 4 of Wands that are indicative of the guy looking down. It's like his crops aren't growing and he's toiled and everything's just too much, kind of a feeling. Simplify your life. Bring it down to basic. I'm paying attention to my breath. And I am telling you, if you feel stressed, I guarantee you 99.9% certainty that you're not breathing. I am amazed at, because we all do this. It's a natural stress response. We get all our breathing is up here. So when I teach people to take a deep breath, I say, take a deep breath and then take a deeper breath. Because our brain literally gets overwhelmed by the feeling that we're suffocating. So not only do people have anxiety attacks, they are having survival crises because the body thinks it's suffocating. And people don't breathe because they had some kind of trauma that cut off the breath. So just understand, there's only so much that you can do about anything, and learn how to let go of the rest. Does that answer the question?
I think that's a nice answer.
And you got a song to boot.
It will suffice. I'm going to take that. I'm just going to extract that song. We'll make that its own separate little video.
You do it for a week. Everybody do it for a week and tell me if that shifts things. I was just singing it to my friend.
Everyone has homework now.
She's a singer too.
All right. Thanks for the question, Arco. That was a good one to start us off. Let's see. How about this one from Mary Morris? Annette, will we ever get COVID under control?
You can answer that one because I already answered it many, many, many times.
January 2024. Now, here's something interesting. I actually had a conversation with a cardiologist friend of mine last week who said that they're still dealing with COVID every single day. It's not as bad as it was in the past, obviously.
The cardiologist is?
Yeah.
Why is a cardiologist dealing with COVID? What do you mean?
Well, there were people on ventilators for a long time. He had to deal with them. He's in the ICU.
Respiratory.
Yes, but he's also, he is part of the whole unit there too.
Okay, because I know they're connected, but respiratory is respiratory and cardiac is cardiac.
Right. What was interesting about the conversation was he said that what's curious about COVID is how perfect of a virus it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not burning out or flaming out. It's just constantly building. Plus, if you see the coat of the virus itself, it has all those pricks sticking out of it. It is so protected.
We know it well.
Right. And he says that's what's spooky about it, is how it seems indestructible and how it just keeps, they're just different iterations of it keep forming and it won't just burn out. So that was a weird thing to talk about. It was a good conversation, but it was interesting.
Yeah, it just kind of mutates and, it kind of readjusts so that it can stay. But remember, I had said that we wouldn't, when a million people were dead, that's when we would get a handle on it. So my guide said that we wouldn't get a handle on it until then. And then we passed that mark this past year. And then we started to get a handle on it. So it was there would be a million people dead before we got a handle on it. And then it would be kind of gone by January 2024. It'd still be out there, but by 2024. I also had said a while ago that I saw 8 vaccinations. I don't know what we're up to right now.
Are we up to 4?
Might be more. Because at the time that the guides gave me this information, it seemed completely outrageous. Because when I heard there'd be 8 vaccinations, I had said, you can go back in the videos, and I said, I see boosters. Do you remember that?
Definitely, yeah.
And so we were waiting for one vaccine that we were kind of looking at, like, as if it were like, for example, the polio vaccine that you just get it once and then you don't get polio, right? So we were looking at the vaccine for COVID as, you remember, we just need the vaccine and then we'll be all good, right? So it kind of caught us off guard. But I started to see boosters, and then I saw the guide said 8 vaccinations, and I was just floored by that. And I was floored by, when it first happened, that the guide said 1 million Americans will be dead before we got a handle on it. I was like, get out. And January 2024 seemed so far off, but it's in less than a year now.
Yeah, not anymore, right?
But the Biden administration is saying they're not going to consider it a pandemic after May of this year.
Right.
Just recently.
Right, yeah, all emergency protocols will be lifted, right?
But they had said that thing before, that kind of thing before. Remember when everyone was taking their masks off at the start of the summer last year?
Yep, I do.
So we kind of went through this sort of a false sense of security because then some other variant came. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't as bad. There's been many variants.
People are saying that's 5. We're up to 5 now.
Yeah, there'll be 3 more.
Interesting. All right, thanks for the question, Mary. Hope that helps. How about this one? We had a couple of this topic from Rosanna Dana is back. She likes to she's dropping weekly notes for us here. Hi, Corey and Annette. David Miscavige, right, has been dodging process servers for child trafficking, and lawyers have tried to serve David 27 times over 4 months.
Who's this? I don't know who this is.
David Misk. Who is that guy? Is he the Scientology dude? One of them?
Yeah, I don't have any information on that. I guess I don't need. It just struck me that I don't know who that is.
There was a second, and I think you've answered a question about this in the past.
About Scientology. I have answered questions about Scientology.
It's David, yeah, because we had another Hungarian Aquarianos. What do you see happening with Scientology, specifically David Miscavige and their downfall?
Is that currently happening?
We know the wife Shelley's right. His wife Shelley's been missing since 2013.
Yes,
but he's been tried to serve 27 times over 4 months. Anyway, will he be brought to justice? Is one direct question.
Is he the head of it or something?
Wasn't he? He was the head of Scientology. He may be the current head, but he was the head.
Yeah, but who founded it?
Well, that's the L. Ron Hubbard crap, right?
Hubbard, that's right. Okay. Is he dead?
He's been dead for years.
Scientology is so bad. Scientology is not going away. Is that part of the question?
One, will this guy be brought to justice? The other one have been about the future.
I get that he will. I get that he'll be brought to justice. I want people to, as much as possible, because it's starting to get habitual that it seems like when. I feel like the answers to the when questions are like that's the most least important part.
Well, explain why, because I think that's important.
Because psychics are drawing from this dimension that doesn't have time. Right? So the guides will give us kind of a ballpark, maybe a season, but it's not like on the spirit plane, today's February 1st. It's not like they're saying that, right? It's not like the spirits are like, speaking our language, like it's 7:22 p.m. Eastern time. So, I mean, I can get like the guides gave me that the for example, the war in Ukraine would be coming to an end. It will be coming to a close this right now. It would be ending like this week, right? I take that with, there's a lot of flex time and, there's not going to be a specific, but the important part of that answer when we're asking about that is that it's going to come to an end and Putin will meet his demise and Russia will not continue this. That's the important part, right? Mm. And it's imminent. But if you want an exact date and time, it's like, is that really as important as the subject matter? I'm just clarifying, like, we don't always have to know when. That's not really the most important part of the answer. So I get that guy will be facing trial. And I do see prison time.
He is the current leader of Scientology.
Yeah, I get that he's going to have to serve prison time. Scientology will continue, but like most cults, some people can't let go. That's true of just about all cults. That they fall apart. They go through major breakdown, but certain sectors will just continue. My incense is looked like it was on fire. Certain segments they'll break into groups and branches and they'll continue. Scientology is not going away.
Gotcha. And of course, and thanks for the info, Kat and Chris DM. Also said, yeah, L. Ron Hubbard was a sci-fi writer, of course, about that book prior to creating Scientology.
I don't even know what that book would. I mean, I can imagine what's in it. I would not ever read it. I don't think, unless I would read maybe like an overview, like a Wikipedia view.
I used to get flooded with those commercials when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, I don't remember
to buy the book
on TV.
Yeah, I remember that. That's how I first knew the name. Yeah.
Don't remember that at all. But I just want, I feel like it's worth mentioning right here that I adhere to a philosophy called Science of Mind. And because people know I have Church of Spirituality, I want to make it very clear right here. It's not that. It's a totally opposite teaching. Science of Mind was called that, I think, prior to pretty much, yeah. I don't know when Scientology started, but it was in the 30s. The Science of Mind started. Science of Mind is a philosophy and a way of life based on Ernest Holmes' interpretation of the New Testament. It's a metaphysical interpretation of spiritual teaching, and it's really like metaphysical interpretation when he's talking about what Jesus taught, but it's really about the ancient laws, universal laws, and that what we think and what we speak is creating our reality. Pretty much almost all of it. So that's why I really get on people when they start saying things, when they start voicing their greatest fears, and when they start saying, I need to be worried about that. I need to, that's why I get right on people. And I'm really strict about it on my channel too. It's like, once people start saying, oh no, Trump's going to win and that kind of thing, it's just like, we don't talk like that around here. We don't give voice and fear and energy to that which we do not want. It might be a passing thought, but we don't like pound away at it. I like to be teaching people while I'm predicting the future too.
You don't say.
Yeah, I'm a teacher. Sagittarians are teachers. That's what we do.
All right, thanks for the question. Moving on, we have this one from Giselle, who's always with us. Hi, Giselle. Annette, any update on Navalny? He was in poor health a few weeks ago.
Of course he's in poor health. I mean, I don't know how anyone could think that he was not in poor health. I mean, do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's in the cold. He's in a harsh prison camp. He's being exposed to the elements. He's not getting properly fed. He's not getting proper rest. He's being tortured and beaten. Of course he's in poor health. I mean, that's kind of like, we can assume that, right? Mm. He's a very strong, physically strong human being. But what I sense about him, it does not bode well. He's not going to be well. I mean, let me see. Okay. The war has to end soon in order for him to live. Because he needs to be freed. Is Navalny going to survive prison? It's not really clear yet. There's certain things that have to occur before that can be true. And it does have to do, okay, when the war on Ukraine ends, will he be released? Okay, so when the war in Ukraine ends, he'd be released.
He's just got to make it to that point.
And he's got good interpretation, Corey. Thank you for clearing that up, because I was trying to figure out how to explain it. That you should do the next question.
Well, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I don't even know who's in it.
I know. Fine.
The Eagles, wait, and the Chiefs?
Yeah, Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles.
I guess I did know. Who are you rooting for?
I don't know.
I love it.
It's hard being up from the Northeast and rooting for a team in Philadelphia. That's difficult.
It's hard to not, you mean?
No, it's hard too. Like it's hard to root for a team from New York or Philadelphia. It's hard to do when you're from the Boston area.
What do we have against Philadelphia? I know
they're usually natural rivals in all the other sports. And Northeast sports fans in the Northeast tend to be sort of like this, cut from the same cloth.
We're kind of a-holes.
Yeah. We're big pricks. Yeah.
I mean, it's like this. If the Patriots and Brady aren't playing anymore, then I don't know how much you watch the Patriots anymore.
It's difficult, but I watched them. But when I was a kid, Before Brady, they were a joke.
Remember the New England Patriots? They were so bad.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
But then now, I mean the Boston Patriots. I meant to say.
Yeah, I don't remember them. That was. How do you remember that?
I remember the logo.
Yeah,
Remember?
Patriot Pat.
Yeah,
The guy with the
guy with
triangular.
yeah, I remember that. And I still see flags like that, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. They still use that logo every now and then.
It was the Boston Patriots before I don't know when they changed to New England or why they did.
They were so the NFL is the big football league now, but before that there was an AFL. So the NFL has been around forever. Right. And then there was like this offshoot league called the AFL.
Right.
As a publicity thing, they would have the AFL champion face the NFL champion for the Super Bowl. And then eventually the NFL just absorbed those AFL teams. So they were the Boston Patriots in the AFL in the early 60s, like into the 60s, 68 or so. And then they became the New England Patriots.
I thought it was into the 70s.
It might have been, but it's close. It's somewhere in there.
So
by the mid 70s, they're the New England Patriots.
Doesn't baseball work like that now?
Well, baseball, it's all Major League Baseball, and then there are two
American League and
National League, like
National League,
almost like conferences. And then the winner of the American National League play each other for the World Series.
And there you have it. The Corey Sports Breakdown.
That's your Erie Sports Minute.
How things came to be the way they are today in the sports world, football and baseball world.
So, I mean, and plus, like, the quarterbacks are good. The Chiefs quarterback is like special to watch. He's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Really good to watch. Anyway.
He's like another Brady.
Yeah, he's awesome. All right. So I answered that question. All right, let's get back to this one. How about this from Jane Hartley? Hi, Jane. Annette, what do your guides see for public education in the near future? Now she says in the next 10 years. But...
I see pods. I see learning pods. I see that a lot of parents will be very motivated to take their children out of the school systems due to book banning and the fascists attempting to control what children learn and how much they learn, because what they're actually attempting to do is dumb down the population by limiting and restricting what children can be, what they learn. They're trying to erase Black History Month. They're trying to erase Black history. They're trying to ban a book like Handmaid's Tale, which basically spells out what their agenda is for women. So I actually see, I've mentioned before about this ginormous school they're building in our hometown.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I don't know how they got away with that. Well, I can surmise it doesn't take a psychic. Huge. It looks like a skyscraper. It's ridiculous. Is it like $60 million? $70 million? It's way up there. The figure would shock you. And every time I drive by that, not only am I just infuriated by that they took away, they stripped the baseball field that was dedicated to a World War I, was it? Yep. Veteran back in the when did they dedicate that? In the 1940s or something?
Yeah, something in there, yeah. Around
this local baseball field, generations of families, a nice close-knit neighborhood, mostly Portuguese neighborhood. They decimated the baseball field. They took it away and built this monstrosity of a school. I'm getting to my point, hang on. And that's not the future of education. Kids going into a school building is not the future of education. Hello, we don't even need libraries anymore. Libraries are wonderful things. I love libraries. It's not needed anymore. There was a time in our history where it was necessary. You could not do your homework and do a research project on something without going to the library and finding the books that you needed. That's on the way out too. Kids can learn everything they need to learn on the internet. So with the school shootings and with this book banning and this fascist approach to education and school boards where people are threatening, giving the parents death threats, it's unbelievable what's happening in this country. Most parents, and I mean most, are going to opt for an alternative to that. So I see learning pods, which I kind of saw developing because of COVID too. And it's like the concept is kind of like homeschooling, where there's a person who takes charge of it and they have a small classroom of kids, kind of like what you would think about for like
the 1700s.
Yeah,
You know?
the Little Red Schoolhouse, or
Yeah.
this is like younger age kids, but they have daycares, right? It's a bunch of kids that go to the same place for most of the day. It's not daycare, but I'm just saying education is going to be like people going to, it could be a community house or a church hall or, a space, and learning that way. That's the
It
future.
is weird, though, to think that you'd have these small clusters from the same community, but those children also have access to the world at large through technology.
It's what they need, the social aspect of it.
Yeah, so you're not like, it wouldn't be as sheltered as it was in years past. You go to your little town school, you stay in your town, and you don't really have a breadth of experiences or information to pull from. And now,
right,
you saw these massive, one of the great things about social media were these massive movements that happened in the Middle East, and I think Tunisia, where they almost overthrew the government, and that was started from young people demonstrating. In Iran, we've seen it. Egypt
Spring.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Egypt was close.
That's true. As much as I complain about technology, it's amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah, you're literally you're connected globally, virtually to most of the globe.
You can reach the whole world with the press of a button.
Yeah, look at this. We have Warren Green overnights us donuts.
He's overnighting me chocolate covered Peeps.
Oh, I know. He warned me. He said, "Don't let her keep them all this time." Did you know there were chocolate covered Peeps? I didn't know.
No, I didn't. That's news to me. Maybe he did it himself.
Yeah, maybe that's not.
Can't you just see him?
one peep at a time.
One
for the psychic, one for the sidekick, one for the psychic.
Let's go for the swim, Peep.
Oh man. All right. Moving forward. Thanks for that question. Let's go to, how about this one from Eileen? You just kind of sort of talked. Well, let's do this one instead. Will Trump and DeSantis implode each other with through revelations? So you see that?
I don't see Trump in the race.
Wow.
No. And you know what? And everybody, just hear me out. We need to stop talking about Ron DeSantis as a viable candidate to run for president. He's a criminal. So tell people that don't follow what the hell is going on that he is an out and out. He kidnapped people and sent them. He kidnapped asylum seekers, kidnapped them and used money that wasn't his money. That was, I think it was state money for Florida. Yeah, it was. He used Florida's money that was relegated to the citizens, taxpayer money. I mean, the guides have really been giving me the downloads on how much of our taxpayer dollars are being stolen from us. And now they want to take it a step further. The fascist, I don't call them the Republican Party. I call them the fascist party because that's what they are. They want to take away Social Security and Medicare that we pay for. That's called stealing. Ron DeSantis needs to not be considered a viable candidate for the president of the United States because he is a dictator, as is Trump. I don't see Trump running for president. Okay, I'm done with my rant now.
Oh, that's a good one. Got to get one out of the way. Janice Stelly is asking, will Nikki Haley get anywhere with her candidacy?
No, give me a break.
Give Annette a break.
Do people really
Stelly?
do people really think really think, well, after what they did to Hillary Clinton, who was the most experienced, most competent, most capable candidate and a woman, and she didn't get in because Russia interfered in the elections. That is why, let's have a reality check. You really think they're going to let Nikki Haley be president? She's not the picture of, like competence. All right, I've said enough. I don't really know her.
All right, now would be a good time to ask, have you had dinner tonight, and are there snacks nearby in case you have?
I had a little bit of Indian food. Just because I ranting doesn't mean I haven't eaten.
No.
My friend is making peep infused marshmallow treats.
Yeah, that is good.
Maybe she'll bring them in. I told her she should come in and wave. My best friend and we're just like identical. We're like the same people.
Oh my God.
It's really weird.
Bad. Stay indoors.
Everybody has one of those. I think everybody has one of those. Or if you don't, you should.
You think so? Really? Is it like a kindred spirits thing or just?
Yeah, definitely. I've known her since 1993, 95, around then.
Wow. That was just a little boy.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you have a good friend, it just kind of happens like that.
Annette, our next question comes from Pixie Dust, who asks, will Bolsonaro be granted a U.S. visa?
The guides just said through corruption. He shouldn't. Let's pick a couple of cards on that.
We're going to the cards, folks.
I mean, we're like just this dictators galore on the planet right now. They're popping up everywhere. They're making their presence known. And I have a couple theories about that. One is that the way energy works, we're being shown the dark forces more clearly. Yeah, this is the corruption. Bolsonaro, corruption, paying people off, getting people with evil and malicious intent to back him. You know that he was hiding out at Mar-a-Lago during the insurrection in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he's going to be found out. I do pick up a Jack Smith influence. He's going to be found out. The Lover card is like people conspiring to uncover what's going on with him. This is interesting. This is a Six of Wands, which is indicative of January 6th, which tells me that Bolsonaro and Steve Bannon and Trump were in on getting that insurrection in Brazil planned. So he's going to try to pull the wool over people's eyes and get a visa. And I feel the word temporary is coming to my mind. What kind of visa is he? I don't know what kind of visa he's looking for.
I don't know.
Does your people in the chat know? Because they're so brilliant and informed.
Do any of you people know specifically what kind of visa Bolsonaro is looking for? We can wait. You want me to move on until we get an answer?
Well, yeah, just let me know when the answer pops up. What kind of visa is he looking for? Is it because I know there's a special visa for diplomats, but there's another one. Like, why would he get a visa for? He's just a citizen now.
Liz Ellis
right?
saying a visitor's visa. Was that confirmed?
So a visitor's visa is limited.
A 6-month visitor's visa.
Oh, I got the Six of Wands. Why is he coming here? That's the question.
Yeah, right. He
Should
ran.
You want to answer that one?
Let's do that.
Do you want to answer that one? Why is he coming here? I like to throw Corey one once in a while.
Yes, his sanctuary. He ran to hide to find ally.
I feel like there's more to it. I feel like that's true, but I feel like there's more to it than that. I feel like they're seeing what they can get away with together. They're seeing what they can get away with together. That's so interesting. They're all in trouble. Bolsonaro's in trouble too. I see the law coming after Bolsonaro for what he's done in the past. Jack Smith knows about this. The reason I'm bringing up Jack Smith yet again is because he's a master at prosecuting international war crimes. And it might not be him directly, but I do feel like people in the DOJ are going to Jack Smith quite frequently and asking him questions just because he's a wealth of knowledge about international criminal situations. So I don't think Bolsonaro will be able to stay here. 6 months, hang on a second, because I'm actually going to ask, because I do get the 6-month visa through corruption. Will he be able to stay the entire 6 months? I don't think he'll be able to stay the entire 6 months. I see him finagling something, pulling some strings, illegitimately getting that visa, but I don't feel like he'll be able to stay the whole 6 months. He's such an evil man. He's just like, let's just strip down all the rainforest, which is game over for the planet. It's already bad enough. And the Brazilians, the natives that live in the Brazilian rainforest have lost everything, and they die and they get murdered, and it's Bolsonaro. These people are going to burn in hell. Don't they know? They might be atheists. The guides are saying they're atheists. I have a picture of Vladimir Putin in church. Want to see it?
You have it like at the ready?
I do. I have a picture of that because I took a screenshot because I'm like, are you kidding me? What was it? Oh, you know what it was? I mean, I just got that these dictators are atheists. It might not be in my camera. They're atheists. I don't think I made it to my camera, to my phone. But they're, they don't believe that there's a heaven or hell. Somebody might have seen this. Some of the viewers might have seen this. It was a picture of Putin holding a candle. It's the most bizarre thing. At an Orthodox, no, not Easter, the Orthodox Christmas celebration. He looked very weird. It's like, what's he doing in church? He doesn't believe in God.
Yeah, we saw that here too. Trump with the Bible in his hand was
upside down, which is a sign of the demonic. Hello.
That was good comedy right there. All right, moving on.
That wasn't good comedy. That was horrible. Oh, here it is. Wait, I found it.
Okay. A potential screensaver here.
Let me see. Can you see?
Yeah, we can see that.
That's Putin at church. Might be a picture of Christ above him.
I remember when people thought I looked like him?
It is. No. You have a similar shaped face.
Oh my God.
No, does he? I mean, you can't help it if your head's.
Let me do that. Let me wriggle my mouth like that.
Isn't that weird? And I think it's St. Joseph behind him.
Oh, speaking of which, that's right around the corner, Annette.
So out of place. What's up?
St. Joseph's is right around the corner.
Oh yeah, that's a holiday we celebrate with fennel and cauliflower.
Chickpeas, yeah.
And chickpeas, yeah.
March 19th, folks. Mark it on your calendar. That'd be a big night. We'll eat it. We'll eat the Bicester somewhere.
Do you know what? Do you remember when I was asking you if you had the recipe, if your mother had the recipe? And one day I'm walking down Main Street. They have those like these pillars with a QR code, and you can read about the history of Gloucester.
Yeah.
The St. Joseph spiced recipe is on one of those.
Oh, no kidding?
I nearly fell over. I'm like, I've been looking far and wide for that recipe from Sicily, and it was for
I can get it if you want it from my mom. I can get it to you.
I know, but it's right on Main Street.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard getting the ingredients nowadays, though.
I found fennel.
Yeah, there's fennel. You know what's really good? The Brazilian market has some stuff. Common Crow has some stuff too. But
Yeah, you need fava beans. You can get those on Amazon. The big
Yeah.
one, big beans. They have really good
you
ones.
mean from
That's
your
all.
local grocer?
No, I couldn't find them.
Ugh, Dion, just play along.
I looked first. I did. I looked there first.
All right. Our next question comes from Linda Gordon, who asked, Annette, are there going to be more attacks on Iran?
Did
Going
Israel
around the world.
attack? Did Israel attack Iran?
I don't know. I don't remember that happening.
Yeah, but I see them as kind of sporadic. I don't see them. I don't see them like. It's a curtailing measure. Iran is like, oh, it's really. I can't even think about it. It's so awful.
Mm.
But there will be more attacks on Iran, but not like a full on, not like, for instance, what Putin has done to Ukraine, just from, one after another after another. Yeah, and it will actually put a dent in Iran's, band of demons there that are killing people. Just you don't like what we're doing and you voiced your opinion, so you're going to be assassinated. Unbelievable. Just, I've heard it said before that from the spirit world's perspective, Earth is kind of hell. It's kind of a pit.
I know people who believe that. They think that they believe in heaven and hell, but they believe this is hell, that Earth is hell that they're living in. Right
and
now.
a few ways it kind of is, but what we do is we bring up the light. We have a lot of work to do. Be kind, everybody.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be a bad time to bring up that I'm starving now that we just talked about?
I think you were projecting your hunger onto me.
Yeah.
You want to go eat and come back?
No. But it just reminds me of how much food we had this summer together.
Oh, I know. We're not eating together. Well, what did you have for supper? What did you have for supper? You're asking me.
I didn't have supper. I had mid-afternoon, I had a bowl of soup. It was like a pot roast soup that I had made.
That was a long time ago.
4 hours ago.
For lunch at 7, it's almost 8 o'clock.
I know.
Go get a snack.
Yeah, that's asking for trouble.
Did anyone send you any snacks? No knishes this week?
No, Annette, you kept them all.
They were good in a pinch too. When it was like, oh, shit, I didn't bring any lunch, and I have a knish.
Those things are heavy.
Yeah, I know. They're really good.
Physically heavy.
I was kind of in a hurry the other day, and I had half of one, the cheese one, and I filled me up for the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's really good. Okay, moving on. How about this one from Patty D? We get this question every now and then. Annette, have you studied Edgar Cayce?
I haven't studied him, but I'm quite familiar with his work. I mean, I can't say that I'm an expert on Edgar Cayce. The Association for Research and Enlightenment, I think I'm saying that right, is there's in Virginia Beach where he lived. He lived in Virginia Beach, that area. I do need to go there someday. I think Edgar Cayce kind of had access to the Akashic records, which is nowadays I can describe it like it's like the iCloud that's all around us, like all the information that we need. I feel like the internet was kind of modeled after this intuitive knowing that this thing exists. It's like all the record of anything that's ever occurred on the planet is available. That's how good psychics just tap right into that. So Edgar Cayce was a sleeping prophet, and he was very, very Christian. And so he was I can understand why he was kind of conflicted about what he was doing, because nobody could really explain it, but he'd go into a sleep state and he would just start channeling. And he was mostly channeling about people's physical conditions and how to heal their physical conditions. And one of the things he prescribed the most, that he suggested in his sleeping prophet state, was castor oil packs. And people would use them and they would heal like just about everything. So something in castor oil that pulls the toxins out of, relieves pain and stuff. But he was a very staunch, he's a very much a Christian. So it was kind of a conflicted thing for him. Many years ago, a friend of mine for my birthday gave me a gift from the ARE, the Edgar Cayce Institute in Virginia Beach, where they could do your astrology chart from this lifetime. And they also would give you an astrology chart from your last lifetime. Fascinating stuff.
And just as you said that, Alana Pierre says in the chat, the ARE is a beautiful place, especially the meditation room. You should go there.
That should be my next trip.
There you go. You got your best friend with you right now. Thelma and Louise it down to Virginia Beach.
She would go. She would go. Yeah. And we wouldn't stop talking the whole time. I'm sure of it.
Oh,
yeah.
Fun car ride.
We do lots of deep dives down the rabbit hole, talking about what about this and what about that? What about this?
So to follow up, Kennedy also asked Annette, what first piqued your interest into channeling others?
I don't.
Is that the right? Yeah, is that the right?
Well, the only thing that piqued my interest was people were asking me if I could channel. And what I did was I just kind of sat down with myself and I went, can I do channeling? And then I realized that in a reading, I always do mediumship. And so what's medium? It just happens, I feel, and because it's been so useful in somebody's reading, I've just I do look at the start of their reading and I look for who's around them. I just kind of started eventually slowly bringing that into the reading. So then I realized if I could so easily access people, loved ones on the other side or friends or whomever, spirit guides of people, when I was giving them a reading, then it wasn't a very big stretch for me to channel people who had passed away that were famous and that kind of thing. So I've gotten some really intriguing, messages. But what happened was I just recognized it's the same kind of, brain state as when I'm doing mediumship. But I tell people, when I'm doing a PNN, Psychic News Network, that because people will be like, well, you channel so-and-so, and I'm like, it's kind of a different brain state, not too much different, but it takes a lot of focus. It's a little different. It's hard to describe. I'm probably making no sense at all.
Well, you lost me at castor oil because all I know about castor oil are from Looney Tunes.
The last question.
Yeah, I know, but I couldn't get it out of my head.
What about Looney Tunes?
Well, just in the old cartoons, castor oil is like the way someone got punished was they would make someone have a spoonful of castor oil.
Well, it's funny. Yeah, that's true. Was that Looney Tunes?
I thought it was Looney Tunes. I could be wrong, but it was definitely in old cartoons though. Several.
Wasn't it cod liver oil?
It was castor oil. It's the only way I even know that term. I don't even know what castor oil is.
I don't really know what it is. I think it's a seed. I think it's oil from a seed. I have to look that up. I don't even know. And I don't know why it has all these magical properties. No, neither did Edgar Cayce, but he just channeled that it would work. I mean, there's some strange, like sort of old wives remedies that, they used to call them household remedies that really do work.
Is castor oil still around? Is it in anything? I don't know. Oh, the Little Rascals had castor oil, that I believe.
Oh, maybe that was it.
But I definitely remember in cartoons and seeing almost like those old gasoline jugs or something. It was castor oil.
Well, back before we had all this medication, that's what people used. They probably were healthier too. So you can get castor oil in the drugstore.
Castor was olive oil's twin brother. Oh, Warren. Castor oil is cod liver oil. No kidding. That's a Fireside Psychic.
Oh, it's cod liver oil. It's the same thing.
Oh, here it's a bean.
Oh,
castor oil from a plant-based tree.
Yeah, it's from a plant.
Castor oil is all around. Okay. Well, there you go, folks.
I mean, if you really wanted to do a deep dive into the healing properties of like seeds and leaves, and you'll never take a pharmaceutical drug again. You won't, because it's all there. God has provided us with the remedy for everything in nature. It's how people survive this long. The whole pharmaceutical industry, that's not been around in the whole scheme of things for really very long, maybe 100 years.
Mm.
And this heavy duty use of pharmaceutical drugs, that's not the key. That's not the ticket to good health. I mean, just overdoing it is not the key. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that's not the ticket to strengthening one's body. There are better ways to strengthen. I can hear them in the chat now. So I just said a controversial thing.
No, we're still on on castor oil.
Everybody take your castor oil.
Right, so it can't be cod liver oil. Ricin apparently, or ricin, comes from the same plant. Castor oil is not from a plant, the castor plant, which is often confused as totally toxic. It's nasty. Castor oil is in soap. You can get castor oil at any drug department. I know it's from the castor plant. Don't know where it grows.
I don't think I'd eat a teaspoon of it unless I plug my nose and ate a teaspoon of it. And I don't think you even need that much. I think just a half a teaspoon a day. I really do feel that a half of a teaspoon of castor oil a day would keep you healthy. That's my sense. That's my sense. I do feel like that would keep you healthy.
Martha Morais, I have some here. Well, there you go. Folks, send us some castor oil. P.O. Box 5432, Gloucester, Mass.
My sense is, you can just get it at the drugstore. My sense is that it would be good for your joints.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just a psychic feeling.
Oil can? Oil can.
Yeah, like the Tin Man.
Mm.
You can just go around with your oil can, and if you feel a little like pain in your knee or something, you can just rub castor oil on it.
Folks, it is officially o'clock. That is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
right.
8 a.m. in Singapore. And you are watching the, what are we at? We're 90 minutes in. You're watching the next episode of the Psychic and the Sidekick. She is a psychic, Annette Dion. You can get a personal reading with Annette by visiting psychicannetteDion.com, or you can email her at AnnetteDion7, that's the number 7, at gmail.com. And I'm Corey from Bridge Cape Ann, and we do this show every Wednesday night, just
no
for you.
matter where we are.
No matter, yeah. Annette is in New Hampshire this week, and I am in sunny, snowy Gloucester, Massachusetts. So there is that.
Not snowing there, is it? Not snowing there, is it?
It was flurries all day today.
Get out.
Nice. Yeah, it was nice, but nothing accumulated. It was nice.
Do you know on Friday we're doing a deep chill?
Oh my God, yeah. You're going to get it good up there.
I know. I'll be leaving, I think.
You're leaving on Friday?
Yeah.
It's going to be freezing.
It's going to be like 11 degrees tops.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be windy, too.
Ah, yikes.
What about this? Cherry says that Sadhguru recommends castor oil.
I heard him recommending castor oil for something. I forget what it was. Yeah.
Edna May, my mom gave my siblings and me castor oil for illness. Big tablespoonful of nasty. I believe it. Joanne McCardle, I use castor oil on my knees after we moved to the 3rd floor. The ligaments were shot. Today my knees are like new. The only joints that don't hurt.
Wow. Austin, you there? What does Sadhguru say about castor oil?
It's good.
It's good.
He's a man of few
not
words.
Show her face.
Wait.
You can.
Hi, everybody.
She's just saying hi, just being shy.
Hi.
Thank you. These are my best friend Austin just made us Rice Krispie treats with Peeps.
They look like arancini's. Wait, look, really?
Yeah.
You health nut.
We had this great idea.
And what's
We
the
were
verdict?
talking about Rice Krispie treats, and I said, you know what we could do? We could, because I have these Peeps. They're good. She didn't want to say hi.
We heard her, though. That's fine. The disembodied voice. We like that. Let's see. Oh, so we have a minute or two. I just want to get caught up
I'm
on folks.
sorry you're hungry, and I'm sorry you're hungry, and I'm eating in front of you.
Oh, no, it's not that bad. I was just, I toggle between really liking the St. Joseph's Bista and not. But, because sometimes I get hung up on the homemade bread and stuff too, and that's really good.
Does your mom make all that stuff on
Oh
St.
my
Joseph
God,
Day?
Annette. everything. She'll make just the homemade pasta. So for the month of March, all through the house, there is just homemade pasta draped over plastic over all the furniture and stuff drying out.
She's hardcore.
Hardcore. Yeah, she's legit. She means it.
I haven't seen your mom in forever.
She's around. She's around a lot. She's actually in Florida this week with a friend.
She went back.
She went. It's a different part of Florida, but yeah, she's back. Yeah.
Remind people she was there during Ian.
She was smack in the middle of it. Crazy. Let's go to this question from, how about Wilk Zook? Wilk's with us tonight.
These are so good. Wow. I recommend make your marshmallow treats with Peeps.
How many gummies have you had?
I don't have any gummies. Do you eat gummies? I don't eat gummies.
No, I haven't had. I would, but I don't have. I never have them.
You never had a gummy?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Oh, how was it?
Honestly, couldn't tell. It didn't do anything.
You might be immune to THC.
Maybe. Man, I don't think I am.
Well,
Maybe in gummy form.
how could it not do anything? It might have been a low.
Yeah.
Dope.
It's probably 1 milligram. No, who knows? Probably 5 or 10. I don't know. All right.
Somebody was asking how to relax. They might need gummies.
Yeah. Give that a shot, folks. Yeah. So,
I was just talking about plant medicine. See,
No.
God provided.
Melanie Scott's thinking the same thing I thought when I saw the Rice Krispie treats come out. I thought they looked like little arancini.
Well, she kind of put it in what was here, like a meatball casserole dish.
Yeah, casserole dish.
I don't know why she gave me so many.
Well, why are 2 in ball shaped form and the others are cut in squares?
I'll have to ask her, but
Yeah,
she won't come in.
She's just having fun down there on her own. Like, let's make a couple balls out of this.
I don't know what's going on with that.
I'd like to hear her answer that.
I think I'm gonna eat another one. I'm gonna spoil my dinner,
Go ahead.
but they're really good.
It's too late for you to have dinner.
I got some codfish. I have to cook it.
Oh, that's good. Wilk Zook asks, Annette, what kind of guy is Netanyahu? Did he cheat in the election?
Yes, he did. Kind of guy, he's a very wealthy guy and he's used to corruption and he thinks that's just the way it works. I mean, I've been picking up on certain people, like the way that they think, like Kevin McCarthy, for instance. The other night, I was reading on Kevin McCarthy and it was like, the only way his brain works is to lie. You know, as far as Netanyahu, the only way his brain works is to cheat. Like to really just be in that, this is what we do. This is how we do it, like that. It's really weird. Was that the question?
That was the question. Yeah. Did he cheat in the election?
Yeah, because that's just the way it is. That is the way, that's the way the government works, according to the way he thinks. It's just what we do. And it's not anything but that. It's evil. It's really evil.
Next question comes from Damon. You know Damon, right?
Oh yeah, he's a troublemaker sometimes. Not to
Yeah.
me, but people in the chat think that he's up to no good.
Oh, he likes to stir the pot, that's for sure. Damon, his favorite subject are the royals, and he asks, Annette, will the current British PM propose reunification with the EU? Not necessarily the royals question, but he's always in the UK, that guy.
I feel like he's being pressured to by the people. And I feel like that he will go in that direction strictly because of the pressure, not because he wants to. I don't really know how the UK benefited from Brexit. I don't understand why they went for that.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me. The guys just said they were sold a bill of goods, so I don't know what that means. But it just seems like a bad idea all around. Like, what were they thinking? Like, I mean, it makes me think about the Republicans saying, let's just get rid of Medicare and Social Security and just give everyone a 30% flat sales tax. What kind of bill of goods is that? And it just reminds me of what the fascists are trying to do here. Like Brexit was a bad deal. Bad, yeah, it's bad. But public pressure. He's going to go in that direction because he wants to be popular.
Oh, Annette, please finish your Rice Krispie peep treat.
Oh, good. It's a step above just marshmallow treats.
Really?
This is gingerbread ones, yeah. The gingerbread men?
Yeah. Oh, that's what's in those treats right now?
Yeah.
They're good. Those were good dropped in hot chocolate or coffee if
Yeah, they were. I had 2 before I went to bed last night.
Dion, what are you doing?
Eating the
Are you jogging in the morning still?
no, I walk. But I haven't walked here. I need to go for a walk.
Yeah. You can start walking around that room if you want, if you feel like you got to stretch for a bit.
I probably will. When you go away, it's like you're off your program.
That's funny. All right, next question comes from Colleen Braun. Colleen's always with us. Annette, Ted Cruz wants to bring a term limit bill for Congress, 2 terms for senators, 3 for the House.
You said Ted Cruz, and I just busted out laughing.
I know, he's such a weird dude. I can't believe this guy's for real and has power.
I think his wife's going to divorce him soon.
Well, there you have it. If he walks his talk, he will not run in 24. Will he practice what he preaches?
We read on this before.
We read on, yeah, we did, but this is, let's see.
I'm trying to remember what it was that it was about term limits. Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah, he is introduced term limits. And I guess the question here is whether it gets passed or not, do you think he would actually walk his talk and not run in 24?
I don't think he thinks he can be elected. And just on that note, just speaking of elections, Grassroots of Democracy meets every Thursday night. And lately we've switched our focus to be more concentrated on one item and one item alone, because everything falls under this umbrella. We are fighting for voting rights. Ted Cruz knows that he wouldn't win legitimately. So I don't think he would run again.
I mean, it seems like a pretty obvious play in the playbook where if you're convinced or you couldn't win, then you try to just change the game to make your landing softer.
That's the name of the fascist Republicans game. That's just it in a nutshell. That's it in a nutshell. They're trying to keep us from voting. We don't have a democracy if you don't have voting, right? Why do people have to wait in line for 8 hours to cast a ballot in 2022?
Annette, do a cartwheel or ring a bell.
There's probably a bell in this place somewhere.
You got to do something.
I didn't look.
Yoon is with us tonight.
All right, let's do this. Let me
Good morning, Yoon. Oh, almost.
That's pretty good.
It was good, but yeah, Zoom blocked it out. I heard the initial thing, and then
Well, it's not a
stopped.
bell. I'm trying to hide it because it's not really a bell.
Yeah.
I'll work better here.
That was better than the other spot in front of.
Can I
Anyway,
help?
good to see you, Yoon. We missed you last night.
Sorry, I don't have my bell, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Yoon was a brat and said that she didn't get the notification that we were on, but Yoon, we're on every Tuesday morning for you in Singapore.
Like we changed the time or something?
I know. I go on 7 a.m. Wednesday morning in Singapore, I believe.
Oh.
Right? And
You
then,
mean, wait, on Tuesday?
yeah. But is it
Okay.
Wednesday morning in Singapore?
That's
Yes.
David.
Right. And then of course we're on it is 8:13 a.m. in Singapore now. So anyway, Yoon, it's good to see you tonight. If you have questions, fire them our way. So okay, good answer there, Annette on Colleen. Thanks for the question.
Doing good because we were thinking she didn't feel well or something.
Huh? Oh, Yoon, she told me she's feeling better. She emailed last night. Yep.
Just checking.
Yeah, we are. Good for you.
Because
Thanks for the
we
reminder.
send vibes. If somebody needs vibes, we send vibes.
Yes. I do want to mention two quick things. One is I've asked for a couple of weeks now about Sharon Bottoms. If anyone's seen her in other live chats or in other shows, just
I
let me
know.
know. We miss Sharon. And Sharon, geez, she pretty much fed Annette and I all summer long,
She fed us cheese.
or fed me and Annette all summer long.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about virtual living. I think I just coined a new phrase. Virtual living. We're in a virtual living room, right? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The downside is because we don't really know these people, right? We're not reading their local paper. We don't know what's going on.
Right.
And who would tell us?
Yeah, we sometimes just have handles to work with. They don't know people's real names. They don't know really where they're from. It's hard to follow up on folks. So,
I mean, we should probably get to know what's up, Bubba and
that really is.
Meredith. What's going on?
Meredith just snuck in to bring me a snack. So you know that Meredith does.
Oh, she's listening.
Meredith does exactly 0% of the cooking in this household, and I mean 0.
Do you do it, or do your mom do?
I do everything. Does my mom do it? But yeah, she comes over every night and makes me.
You cooked, and weren't we talking about you inviting your mom over to cook for you when you couldn't do it yourselves because of the construction?
No, did you just make that up? No, that's not true at all. No, my mom's a great cook. I do all the cooking here.
What do you
If
cook?
if my mom's away, I go to her house and grocery shop because my mom, she overbuys everything.
Where do you what do you cook? What's your specialty?
I crock pot a ton of stuff.
Do you make soups?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, Italian wedding soup I'm going to make tomorrow.
You never, all the times I've talked about cooking, you never mentioned that you cook.
Yeah,
You've-
it's really crock pot, but I do. I do it all. You know what I'm also going to make later this week? I'm either going to do a baked stuffed haddock or I'll do scallops and linguine. That's really good. I got to go down and pick up some scallops this week.
Do you ever have clams, linguine and clam sauce?
Yeah, I'm not a giant clam fan, but
I love that with a lot of garlic.
oh yeah. You do like that. So anyway, so what do you think Mary cooked tonight? She just cooked me a snack. That's why Bubba's head is directly under my plate.
She doesn't cook, but she made you a snack.
Yep.
Grilled cheese.
Very close, and that's a good guess. It's English muffin with peanut butter.
I was gonna say that first. I really was. I was gonna say peanut butter, and then I went with grilled cheese.
And peanut butter is the perfect thing to snack on when you're talking into a microphone for hours on end. So,
Grilled cheese might have been better.
thank you, good doctor.
Thank you for feeding Corey.
So there is that.
He's
Okay.
so dedicated. He'll just come on when he hasn't even had dinner, and he'll sacrifice, and his stomach will be growling just for the fans.
Now I will say this also. So Anna Lee is also sending us gifts Friday. I got to pick those up again too. She's usually our Peeps supplier.
Have to. You don't have to.
Well, some people feel like they have to. I don't know.
Thank
Anna Lee
you.
means so much to the channel, and she's
Yeah,
keeping us.
thank you.
She's
Just
keeping
don't
us
feel
nourished.
obligated. That's all. I mean,
No.
but we appreciate it.
But a wise move, Anna Lee, sending the treats to me first instead of the other way around.
I hoard them.
It's a savvy move.
It's like I'm driving by Corey's house. Should I bring the things?
You drove right by. You just could have thrown one down the street.
I told Warren you weren't going to get any.
That's funny. All right. Our next question comes from one of our favorite handles, Hungarian Aquarian.
What's she up to?
Annette, will we ever see Al Franken back in politics after he was forced to resign from the Senate?
I feel like Al Franken would love that. And I just feel like he has a good life right now and he doesn't want to invite death threats. That's what it's come to in this country.
Yeah, he adored that life. He adored his work with the Senate or being a senator.
He would, if in a different climate, in a New York minute, he would in a different political climate. But you know, and we do this on Tuesday nights. We visualize all the genuine, true public servants surrounded by a bubble of protective light, because they're all getting death threats by the thousands for being public servants.
Mm.
Because of places like Fox that are anything that's good that's being done for the American people is being done by a Democrat.
Stretch, Annette, stretch.
I'm just being quiet to see you have tried to talk with peanut butter anymore. Anybody who is doing good work, the Republicans are, the fascists are turning it around and getting people to believe, to the best of their ability, getting people to believe that the Democrats are communists and they're Marxists and they're socialists and they're coming to get you. So the Republicans keep doing that. So a genuine public servant is risking their lives just by serving the public. They are putting themselves and their families at risk of being murdered. So I think Al Franken would definitely want to serve, but I don't feel like that he will. He's actually touring now. He's doing stand up again. And he has a podcast that's quite good. And so that's an enjoyable life, right? That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
That's like if you or I, if someone said, why don't you run for public office and serve in Washington? If you or I got that invitation and we had a pretty good chance of winning, well, in this climate, we wouldn't have a pretty good chance of winning.
But, I can talk to that like at the local level. People have asked me to run for
like city councilor
spots before. And, but I've heard also other people who have declined to run because they feel like they can actually be more influential and be more productive when they're not part of the body elect.
That's true for me on a small scale. That's true for me.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to be scrutinizing, she reads tarot cards, which is nothing wrong with reading tarot cards. I mean, tell me what's wrong with reading tarot cards.
She sings too. And
right.
I've seen her whip down like 3, 4, 5 Rice Krispie treats in an hour.
Are you going to say beer?
No, I have seen that. It's been a while. I used to see that.
So I wouldn't run for public office. In lieu of that, I would do like I'm doing as much as I possibly can to raise people's awareness that our democracy depends on each and every individual's activism. After we had those, that horrific, those 2 or 3 mass shootings in California last week, I posed the question, I probably posed it here too. Has everybody at least at the very bare minimum signed a petition for gun control? And if that hasn't happened, that's a time of self-reflection. Like if you have not signed any petition or anything about needing gun control, because 89% of the American population wants background checks. If somebody hasn't done that, you got to kind of ask yourself, what's up with that? And that's not a judgment. It's just really important that everybody get involved. So there are different ways to be involved, but we do need people that are genuine public servants that are going to stand strong and proud as an example of what it is to serve. Because if we lose that, we lose our hope. So all those people that are public servants, that are Democrats, that are genuinely serving for the better good of everyone, we need to send them protection and support. We really do. We write them a fan letter. It's just something, because that is a courageous. It didn't used to be this way. I mean, it just used to be, oh, he's a politician, she's a politician, they hold this off. It used to be just that, right? They work in our government. It used to be just that. It's not that anymore. You're risking your life and your family's lives.
Well, and you see who gets planted in certain school committees and government, like in all those local level stuff, ground floor level positions, because no one wants to do it.
Well,
They
but
don't
it's,
want the heat. They don't want to take the crap. There's very little reward. Like the councilors here, they get paid very little. They might get health
Well-
insurance through the city, but like,
well,
and they
before it
take
was,
crap.
well, before it was like just not very rewarding, but I don't care. I mean, if you're called to do public service work, and I believe most people that are in that position, that are genuine public servants that care about people and work hard for the people, that's a calling, right? They would go ahead and do it despite all the, the inconveniences. But now the game has changed. It's a different game. It's a game of Russian roulette, kind of. You're
Well,
taking a risk. Your life is at risk if you run for public office as a Democrat.
well, state and federal level, it gets really dark really fast.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So we need to, definitely stand up and be activists.
A quick spin around the live chat. Yoon says, feeling much better. I
Good.
usually take a walk in the park every morning. Haven't done it in a while. Have to start again and release some excess energy. You do that, Yoon.
Read about the benefits. Read about the benefits of a walk. And she'll
Linda
do it.
Gordon, I'm late. My mom's is hospitalized. Linda, we're thinking of her tonight. Jackie Lynn, apparently it's her birthday. So happy birthday, Jackie.
Wait, oh, it's Jackie's, not Linda's mother.
Hmm.
I got
Linda
mixed up.
Gordon's mother is hospitalized. Jackie Lynn's birthday is today.
She'll be okay.
Froxy Roxy, Annette, I've signed about 5 petitions for gun control and even donated for Sandy Hook. Every time I get bombarded, a request to donate us some can't afford. Right. Well, we get understand.
Well, yeah, I want to speak to that. I get bombarded daily. Of course I do, because I've signed a lot of petitions and I have a group and I get bombarded daily. I'd rather get bombarded daily than not. I give $20 a month to Act Blue, for instance. That's not the only organization. I give to Planned Parenthood monthly. Not everyone has to do that, but I'm glad that I get bombarded with emails. I don't give every single time, of course. That was a lot of work, but it's good. I mean, I think that it's great that she's giving.
I agree. All right, how about this question from Christian Montone? He has a giant blue wrench next to his name.
It just popped up just now.
It's like he popped in last night. So
Has
he
he
had
been
a question. This is from last night. He asked.
Has he been lurking tonight, or he's?
No, he's been in there. I haven't noticed. Is Thankful Mom with us tonight? I know Annalie and Christian are in there. I don't know if Thankful Mom's in here yet. Maybe. I don't see her though. Anyway, so Christian asks, for Annette, have you ever tried to do automatic writing as a reading modality?
No, not as a reading modality, but I used to always just write in a journal to get answers. And I noticed that when I wrote to get answers, if I wrote like 3 pages or something, for some time I did morning pages. Julia Cameron, invented this idea that you write 3 pages in the morning of whatever. Inadvertently, when I write like that, just stream of consciousness, there's always a thread of guidance in there. And I always recommend to people that they write, because it's in there. The guidance is in there, even if it's just that your brain put it together while you're writing, but not as a way of doing readings. I do mediumship. I read tarot. I see past lives. I use the pendulum. You know what I mean? It's like I don't think I need to add automatic writing unless I want to make the readings 2 hours.
Gotcha.
I could attempt that. I could, I'm always open to suggestions. I mean, that's something I could attempt. And I'm going to go to Virginia Beach to go to Edgar Cayce's Institute there. So I'm always open to, like ideas. So maybe I'll give it a whirl. Maybe I'll do automatic writing for you, Corey. Like, I didn't know I could channel. So, yeah.
I'm in.
I don't have any pad and paper. I forgot to bring in. I forgot the bell, pad and paper.
What is up with the hand behind you?
Well, I don't know. I just have this bare dresser and I had to put something on it.
Could you
So
just could you put like one mitten on it just to,
I went around the house and
or
and
have it, yeah, it could hold up the tarot cards tonight.
I'm telling you, it's a yoga house. So it came with that, but it was kind of rattling, so I removed it. I like it.
Yeah, height of the hand.
It's not mine. The bureau is wobbling though. I can't.
So Annette, high five that hand. High five that hand because we just got a nice. There we go.
That's what I'll do instead of the bell.
Yeah. So yeah, Linda Gordon has tipped the channel. So thank you, Linda. We appreciate it.
Oh, somebody must have dropped it. There's a bunch of cracks in it.
Uh-oh.
It's probably a family heirloom, so it's probably from like
You
200
just
years.
high-fived it on camera.
And then I noticed all the cracks in it. Somebody glued it back together.
Yeah.
Geesh, I better be careful.
Yikes. Oh, so I want to throw it to as where it's now 8:30, Annette. You tell me what you want to do.
Well, what I'm seeing is that I have 39% battery, so just
Oh, we're in good shape, but we'll do another half hour or
yeah, go ahead. We'll go
Okay.
for it.
so I do want to mention I had a good idea to somehow bridge the gap between the local audience and the YouTube audience, which is international, of course. So we're going to be introducing a new membership plan for $2 a month to join Bridge Cape Band. You can do this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have weekly drawings, and we're going to give away prizes from local businesses here. And send them to folks like nice prizes. So
The local. Okay.
yeah, but anyone in the world can play. It's, and you could win a prize from the Pet Supply Place or Pauline's Gifts or Sea Meadow Gifts or Good Linens or, there's a million places around here. So I thought that'd be a nice way to start to bridge those two audiences together. So
To get the locals on board with the show?
yeah, well, eventually when we refresh the channel, we're going to try to simulcast to the local audience and to this audience. And I thought, how can we unify that, or how can we attract the local and draw them in and serve the Bridge Cape Band clients too?
Yeah, it would be nice. I no longer have local clients.
Yeah, right.
I have no local clients anymore.
Right. So
I need to rebuild that because what if the internet goes down?
well, this is true. This is true.
I have to figure something out.
It's like you can't always cater to the tourists, right? The local businesses that cater to the locals are the ones that make it year round. But anyway, so I'm excited about that.
It wasn't working.
Hmm?
It wasn't working. You know how in your hometown you can't be famous?
Well, yeah, you can't really. Yeah. People always say, Corey, you know everybody around here. Then everybody I know knows everybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, so
Let me
yeah.
let you know that I'm not sure how long the battery will last, but when I'm down to 2% battery, I will call it a night.
Yeah, 2%. You're going to be here for a while. Those batteries can last.
No, it's not lasting.
No,
Good.
okay. Moonchild, Corey, you have some cool donation emojis. Are you adding sound effects? When we do the shows from a studio or when it's built down here, I can do that. Right now, Annette and I, we're just kind of doing what we're doing for now to get through the winter, but that's the latest. And then I think demolition starts of the house maybe within the week.
Well, that sounds drastic.
We've already started to move most of the stuff into the
Maybe
other.
just say remodeling.
Yeah, well, it is we're going down to the studs. So
demolition just sounds really severe.
But I kind of want this place torn up a bit.
You kind of like the word.
It's time.
I can tell.
It's time. So I'll have more news on the weekly giveaways that we'll have in those drawings that you'll be a part of ASAP. Maybe as soon as next week I can do it. But if that sounds like a good idea for you folks, I brought this up in a live chat last week. People thought it was a great idea, and so do I. So anyway, we'll introduce that sooner than later. And it'll be dirt cheap too, like $2 a month or something.
What was our last question? I lost track.
You answered it. It was about automatic writing.
Okay, it was a while ago.
Yeah. Okay, how about this question from Colorful Foresight, who says, Annette, what is the deal with Jordan Peterson? Is his highly intellectual capability making him go insane?
I don't know who that.
Jordan Peterson?
I don't know who that is.
He is a professor in, I think, is he at the University of Toronto or something? He's Canadian, and he's an intellectual. And we've never seen him do debates or anything. Or
He's okay. I don't feel like there's any, I feel like people are hyping out something. He's okay.
yeah, he's massive online.
What's the question?
Is his highly intellectual capability making him go insane?
That's the question. Well, I don't know why they would, because I don't know about this. I don't know who he is, but he's okay. So why are people asking that?
Well,
Just highly brilliant. That means he must be borderline insane.
no, colorful foresight. So he is, I don't know if he would, I'm trying to think of politically where he would stand. He would almost come off like, is it a British liberal bent or a conservativist bent? Someone out there who knows Peterson well, let me know. Because I mean, he's huge. He has a massive audience and does a ton of speaking engagements and debates. And he'll end up answering questions on, like, he refuses to use like neologic, like pronouns that, it's he, him. So like he refuses to use that and explains why. The guy is a brain. Like, he knows history back and front, he knows politics back and front. So when he's challenged by, let's say, the very woke folks, he has a counter argument.
Did you just say very woke?
Very woke, yeah.
Corey,
Beyond woke.
I'm gonna be wagging my finger at you.
Oh, beyond listen.
No, I'm gonna be wagging my finger at you because I don't want to hear woke out of your mouth, okay?
You said it 3 weeks ago on the show.
Well, I say that that's not appropriate to call people that are kind and compassionate and caring and informed and curious enough to learn more about various things and to just progressive and thoughtful. To call that woke as a negative is the end of our civil existence.
Well, I would call them all the other adjectives you just used and not woke.
So if you say something like Ron DeSantis calls people woke, that's one thing. But I would not use that as a way to describe anybody. Anyway, I'm giving you a lecture right now.
I guess. I mean, I don't want to listen to the woke or the other lunatic fringe on the other side.
We're working on a t-shirt right now where woke the acronym is, woke. We offer kind energy. Anyway, I don't know who this guy is. I never heard of him. What I get is there's not anything wrong with him. He's unusual. He's not insane. I don't even feel like he's very politically minded. And I just get, me not knowing anything about this person at all.
Mm-hmm.
I just get that there are a whole lot of people assuming a whole lot of things that just has this feeling of massive gossip around it. No matter what it is that's being said, it just has this feeling of based in nothing, based in just conjecture. And I'll go look up afterwards who this person is.
Mm-hmm.
But the information that's coming out is just like the game of telephone once again. One person says something and then it goes, gets bigger and bigger and the whole story gets like all convoluted and nobody's talking about what's actually really going on here. I'm surprised I haven't heard of him, but I guess it's hard to keep up with everything.
This is true.
Why is he in the news like currently?
He's just very popular online. And so he's always on campuses and the part of debates. He's always on TV shows.
I mean, I'm not leaning either way. I'm just saying that what I'm addressing is people saying that there's something wrong with him, like he's insane, but that's not what I'm picking up.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with his brain. No matter what side he's speaking from, there's nothing wrong with his brain. Does anybody know, ask the viewers if they know what Imbolc is? IMBOLC. Happy Imbolc, it's tomorrow.
Do you know, folks, what Imbolc is?
Just curious to know how many people know.
IMBOLC, you said?
IMBOLC, yeah. I'm just curious to know if we have people that are aware of the Earth religion called Wicca. Because that's, speaking of people, you know, things being misconstrued, there's nothing demonic about it, put it that way.
Annette Lisi 236 asks, will Ukraine be part of NATO?
Yeah. That was easy.
Good, good. I hope that helps, Lacey. Lily Girl asks, Annette, was ex-FBI Director James Comey involved in the corruption with the Russian oligarchs?
Yeah. I mean, not to the degree that some were, but he fell into it. The guys are saying not to the degree that some people will make you have tried to make you believe. He was kind of just, the people that he was dealing with were connected to it. So it's kind of like that. Indirectly.
Good, good. Thanks for the question, Lily Girl. Nydia asks, has Annette ever been in a haunted place that she'll never go back to?
I don't think I'd go back and live in that little red house that was built in 1720 that was across the street from the cemetery that had gravestones from dating back to the early 1700s in Rockport.
In Magnolia?
In Rockport.
Oh, in Rockport, yeah. Okay.
That was, did I tell you about the first, I think I did. I told you about the first night I was there all by myself and there was a big storm and there was this big crash.
Yeah.
And like in the bed like this, I'm not going down here, you know, and then I woke up and there's knives all over the floor.
No, I didn't know that part.
I thought I told you that story.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, there was a storm, so you know it was like the house, the windows howling, and I got up in the morning after I heard that big crash and bang, and I was not going to get out of bed, and because I was just terrified because I was there all by myself, and then like this knife block had fallen off the counter, and there was knives all over the floor. That was like my first night there, and things would move. Like there was a board over the fireplace because we weren't using it at the time. And I mean, I wasn't. I didn't get a roommate till later, but it would move. And then when I did have a housemate, I was only there for like 6 months. So this guy moved in. He had the other room where I wouldn't go into that room because I felt a little girl ghost in the room. And I was looking at that cemetery the other day, and there's some like 4-year-olds, 2-year-olds. Anyway, so one day he said, I don't want to tell you this because it'll probably scare you, but he had a couple of boxes stacked up in his room, one on top of the other. And he's like, I sat there and watched as the box moved. It's like, okay, I would never go back. I mean, it was fine. It was kind of cool. I had a colonial party that was really fun. I told you about that.
Mm.
But I don't think, I mean, there were nights that I'd go home after work. And I had left the light on and it would be turned off, the outdoor light. And I don't know, it was just this weird time in my life where it was hard to find a place to live as we experience here, because so many people are moving in, there wasn't enough available. And I just would walk home and be like, why do I have to live in this haunted house? What did I do to deserve having to live here? But I got out, I got out of it. I mean, it's happened many times, but not to that extent.
Mm. Did you bring that giant wonder joint of sage to New Hampshire with you?
I forgot to bring it.
Oh.
But I brought this. This place is cool. I feel like this place has really good vibes.
Mm.
And the neighbors are next door. The owners are next door. So, I mean, it's kind of like attracts like, so it has totally my vibe. And that raises the energy of a place. The things that I don't like to see, and there's a lot of that up in this area, in the rural area of New England, old homes that have been abandoned. That is like a breeding ground for ghosts and dark spirits. The best way to keep a place clear of ghosts is to live in it. It's, I mean, to have happy vibes in it. Next question.
The next question comes from Tammy S. Tammy's with us tonight. Hi, Tammy. In Chile, Minnesota, by the way. Annette, do pendulums give honest answers or do some spirits use trickery? I hear both.
They don't, no, spirits don't use trickery. Evil spirits can use trickery, but ghosts, I mean, I've not experienced that. The pendulum it's a good tool, and pendulums and dowsing have been around for really thousands of years, really dating back longer than we can even tell. Dowsing and pendulums is very much the same thing. Dowsing rods have been used to find water, and so they really do measure energy. So the energy of an event or like a question is already there. And it's a matter of how much you can kind of just remove yourself from the answer. And I think that comes with doing psychic work. And, you know, you get better as time goes on, like anything. The more practice, the better you are at it. And you get a sense of what direction it's going to go in. But no, I don't ever worry about evil spirits getting in. I mean, did that answer the question?
I think so. She just thanked you. So.
Oh, okay. I guess that's a sign.
Yeah.
I did good.
How about this one from Amy Davis? Are there really fairies and mermaids?
There are definitely fairies. There are mermaids. Oh wait, I just want to remind you, I have a pendulum class on Saturday. Sign up on my website. Mermaids, I actually do think that there used to be mermaids. They're not anymore. I don't think they're just from mythology. Fairies are definitely, I've seen fairies, I've sensed fairies. They are real. Nature spirits are called elementals. They do exist. And you can feel it if you go into a forest. You can definitely feel it. There's a place in Nashville called Radnor Lake State Park. There's a lot of fairies there. A lot of virgin forest there. A lot of fairies. It's kind of a park that's kind of like in the city. It's interesting.
Cool. Annette, high five the hand.
Better be careful.
I know. Don't fist bump it.
It seems like it would be bad luck to break it.
There we go. So yeah, Kara Glenn has tipped the channel. She says, thank you for being here. So thank you, Kara, for being here.
Thank you for, where would we be without you all?
Yeah.
We'd be just talking to each other.
So thank you, Kara. We appreciate it. And Amy Davis, who asked a question about fairies and mermaids, says, okay, will do. I just started watching you two. Yes, heard that too. Elementals. So there you have that.
Yeah, they're very real. And there's lots of books about them. I used to have the Fairy Oracle deck by Brian Froud, but it literally, some of the people I do readings for, they got scared. Because some of the fairies, they look kind of spooky.
Annette, are you ready for our question of the week?
I didn't know we had a question of the week. Pray tell, Corey, what might it be?
This question comes from Robin with 2 B's, Robin M. Question for Annette. Are we getting groovier this year?
It depends on how you define groovy. I mean, I have my tie-dye shirt on, so I'm getting groovier.
Look at that. Yeah.
I don't know I mean, people have different definitions for groovy.
Yeah, I wonder what she meant.
Can she define it better? Is she here?
I don't think she's in tonight.
I'll answer it when she gives me a better idea of what kind of groovy she's referring to.
Well,
like,
we can assume what she meant, but
well, for a while there, I had this idea when all we were hearing was "Make America Great Again," gag me, "Make America Cool Again." We should make America cool again.
Maca?
Maca.
The problem is if you say Maca with a bunch of Italians, we pronounce our C's like G's. It's all just going to come out MAGA. Like Medigani.
Well, you don't say it like that.
I know.
Maybe just in Gloucester.
So people are saying we need groovy. There should be, Carrie's been groovy since 1969. That's
Well, I'm
good.
not really sure what they mean by, because groovy's used in a lot of different ways, right? I guess there's who sang "Feeling Groovy"? Hello, lamppost. What you know? That's Simon and Garfunkel.
Groovy. Who did
Simon
that?
and Garfunkel.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
I think that groovy came with great songs, right? That's my take on it.
Groove is in the heart.
I have to really ponder that. Are we getting groovier? Groovy means you're kind of free and doing right. Free. Groovy means free and doing your own thing. We're gonna have to fight for our grooviness. True.
I wonder if it means like also like are we getting it together? Are we becoming more communal? Are things on the up and are things getting better?
We have to commit to it. I know they sound like contradictions, but we have to commit to.
You mean you have to get into the groove?
Get into the groove, boy, you got to prove. Madonna. Here's the thing. To me, groovy, and I think this is universal, is like just kind of going with the flow, chilling out. Do you know anyone that's like that?
Yeah, it's like completely tuned out.
No, I'm not talking about tuned out. That's you totally missed my point 100%.
Yeah, I was trying to nod. I was seeing.
You're doing good though. You're doing good pretending you're paying attention to me tonight. I want to give you some credit.
Wow, let me high five that thing.
Groovy is like going with the flow and like, everything is cool, man. And, just chill out. That's groovy, right? Who do you know that behaves that way nowadays? Besides me.
I don't know. Maybe some young Gen Zers. They seem to be having some fun.
Because it kind of infers not stressing.
Yeah. And who's
Well,
who's not
groovy.
stressing?
Like, that's groovy. But people, I don't know. I was talking to my group the other day, last night. And I had a class on Saturday. I was talking about this. People think that we're supposed to be all stressed out. People think that we should be like upset and struggling and I think everything's hard. And it's like, people think they should be all upset and all stressed out, right? They just like almost like automatic pilot, forgetting we're supposed to have fun, right? We're supposed to hang out and have a good time because that's, if we can, we might as well. And I'm not talking about not being involved in things we need to be involved in, but people are starting to think that life requires, just struggle and horribleness. It doesn't. Even if you're being an activist, even if you're being responsible, it doesn't require being stressed out of your head and going way too fast and worrying about every little thing. It does not require that. That's a choice.
Man, Rice Krispie treats with Peeps has
I'm
completely
thinking of
pacified
another
you. Look at you. You're feeling groovy.
Thinking about another one. They're pretty groovy.
Yeah.
I
But
think
that's-
our
I mean-
viewers should try making them that way and see how they come out.
Yeah, sounds good. But don't you think, I think day-to-day living is very hard for a lot of people.
You don't have to make it hard. You can still do the same thing in a different spirit.
Mm.
You can still do your thing. You can do your day with a different spirit. Everybody, give it a shot this week. Just go about everything going, yeah, that's groovy. That's good. Let's get out of this mass hypnosis that we have to be panic-stricken and full of fear and all upset and struggling. Let's just get out of that mindset. We know that like the happiest people studies have been done. The happiest people don't have very much. And like third world countries, the happiest people, like they get together with their families, they focus on that. They have simple lives, and they're actually statistically much happier. Because the simpler you can make your life, the better it's going to be. And I mean simple. I mean, I think I might have given you this example before, but I mentioned before that I had a pretty smallish storage space with extra stuff in it that I just hadn't kind of gone through and gotten rid of. I could not believe it. The end of the year, last year, I decided to close it down because they raised the rent. It was ridiculous. It didn't even make any sense that they raised it. The company got taken over by another company. I just decided to go through and get rid of everything. And I did. And I cannot believe how good I felt. So the reason I'm making this point is because when we bring our lives to a place where it's just simple, I have this and I have this and I have this, and that's all I really need to think about in terms of what to be responsible for. And everybody can do this on some level. Simplify your life so you can enjoy your life. Simplify your life, stop and sit and be quiet and just enjoy just hanging out. Who just hangs out anymore? We're doing it to ourselves, honestly. Because we can respond to everything we need to respond to. Political, what's going on in politics involved in that, included. We can respond to everything in a different spirit. Right?
Well,
I'm sorry.
You look at our group here, right? We're all just hanging out with each other, you know?
And
This is us hanging out.
how many people do you have?
It's 420 something.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
That's really good. Last week you had like 600.
There was, I think, with the we had Sheila, because Sheila had her audience in too. There was a big audience.
Right. But that was the week before we had Sheila. Last week we didn't have.
That's where in the fight. Yeah, it's always sort of in this range.
But I'm just saying, yeah, I mean, it's good. I'm so grateful that people show up because we do our best to kind of get everyone in that spirit of, have some crispy treats.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4.
Talk to Bubba. Where's Bubba?
I don't know if you can hear him. He's literally snoring behind me.
Okay, I can't.
Yeah, he's KO'd. He's had a long day of snoring mostly. So, all right, Dion, it is just before 9 o'clock. You want to wrap things up?
Yeah, pretty soon. Do you have one more question?
Let's see. Someone asked if you've ever had a past life done.
Have I ever had a past life done?
Well, how's that? Or you sense, right, that you were a gypsy in a past life, right?
It wasn't an easy one. I have a sense that I was a priestess in Atlantis right before it exploded. People were psyching each other out with their minds in Atlantis. Yeah, I've tuned into some past lifetimes. I was a sea captain in a past lifetime.
Oh.
I was kind of greedy.
More connections with a captain? What do you know? Pirate's booty?
A merchant. I was a sea merchant, and I didn't ship slaves or anything, so that was good. It was merchant. It was trade, like salt and.
Oh, were you part of the sugar trade?
Tea and. No, I don't feel like I was part of that. I don't like. What do you know? Are you reading my past life right now? There's no proof, right?
Oh.
No, I feel like I was in this area. I feel like I was like in Newburyport, and that I was, I did trade. There was tons of ships that did that from here to Europe and back. Anyway, so yeah, I've flashed on a couple of past lifetimes. I told you about that. I said, and I wasn't very nice to women.
You're kidding.
Men weren't nice to
But now look at you.
I became a woman just to,
yeah, take that.
I pay my dues for being a man who wasn't nice in a past lifetime. Yeah, I've tapped into a few past lifetimes, and just being able to read past lives for people. We have hundreds of past lifetimes, but we come in with strong impressions from just a few.
And you've thought of me as was I a jester or what was I, a clown? What the hell was I?
Well, I thought we traveled with the circus and you were a clown and I was a gypsy.
My God. And then also a Viking? Also a Viking?
I think you might have been a Viking. I don't think I was a Viking. I don't get that I was a Viking. But we don't remember all of our past lifetimes. We don't get impressions from all of our past lifetimes, just a few.
Do you want a question from a woman right now?
Certainly.
This is from Karen. Karen asks, how long will I have to wait for a job?
You can't slip personal questions in.
I got that last night. I was like, Karen, if you only knew.
Well, what she has to understand is that nobody, no offense, but nobody else cares.
Well, and I said, well, Karen, you tell me how long you have to wait.
And you know me, you know how I get, like kind of a smart ass, it's up to you. Right? We are not, I'm doing my best to teach this to people. We're not at the mercy of what happens to us. If we're not intentionally intending that what it is that we want to occur is, if we're not holding that in our consciousness, it's never going to happen. You have to be able to conceptualize what it is that you want, right? So going around like, when is this going to happen to me? Totally the wrong way to go about it.
Yep.
Couldn't be any more ineffective.
I agree. We get a bunch of questions where it's like the person asks, like, they should know the answer as they're asking the question. Like you already know. So I don't know why you're asking.
However, there is a misconception about psychics, and I understand where that all comes from. Like, what's going to happen to me? As if it's all random. And it's just from the old-fashioned idea that psychics will tell you what is your destiny, right? And your destiny is shaped by your thinking, almost all of it. It's shaped by how you hold your energy in life. If you're happy and you're upbeat, then you're attracting a higher frequency energy from the world around you. If you're sullen and you're, when am I going to get a job? When am I going to get a job? The only thing that's going to happen, I'm not saying that's what she's doing. I'm just explaining something. If you're like, oh no, there's no jobs out there. When am I going to get a job? I need a job. Then all you're going to attract is a continuation of that lack and that miserable experience. I know it seems like a contradiction, but you have to believe even when it's not happening, even when you don't see the evidence, you have to believe anyway. And you have to stay on that train and keep on that train till you get what you want. So I get nasty sometimes about those kinds of questions because it's like, come on, do you know that you create your reality? You know, if you talk negative, you're going to feel negative. You know, if you talk positive, you're going to feel positive. And even if you have to fake it till you make it, you will get there. So it's a little bit lazy. It's just a little bit like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and just say it can't happen for me, right? That's kind of a little bit lazy.
Yeah, it's a defeatist attitude.
Yeah, and it's self-fulfilling.
All right, Annette, let's let you get back to your vacation, and you want to wrap up with a community card?
It's not really a vacation, but thank you. What I've surmised is that what I do is portable. So it really is. We live in a virtual world, right?
Being you is portable, yeah.
So this year is going to be a year that you're going to see me maybe once a month in a different location.
Whoa.
I will still, this week, my friend's visiting. So this week, it's not going to be that I'm doing readings this week, but I mean, for a few days, I'm just away for a few days. But as the year goes on, I'm going to just kind of take my work on the road so I can do readings for people no matter where I am. Because, why not? Keep it interesting.
Yeah.
You get sick of your office when you're in the same office all the time. It's like,
why do you think I have these backdrops all the time?
That's kind of it. Yeah, it's a need that we have. So you want me to do some community cards for the week?
You do community cards. We want to thank our ranchers, Christian Montone and Annalie Finch tonight, as always, and thank everyone for being with us. Now, listen, Annette does have a class coming up Saturday. Is it booked yet, or is there still space?
I have some people signed up for it, but I haven't publicized it enough. So there's plenty of room for the Pendulum class.
PsychicAnnetteDion.com. Of course, if you want a personal reading, you can always get that. She'll tell you how long you'll have to wait for a job if you do that.
Yeah, you have to pay me for that information. But I will coach you on how to do it.
Yeah.
How to get that information. Also on February 11th, I'm doing a class called Let Yourself Love Yourself based on Louise Hay's work. I think a lot of our viewers know who Louise Hay was, Hay. That's going to be good. And then the following, on the 25th, I start my 7-week series based on my book, 7-week class. It's a course based on the 7-day key to living inspiration and empowerment, which is my book that came out 10 years ago and I never marketed it. And I've just sent out, I had offered for January that people would get a free book if they, an autographed one, if they got a reading. So that offer has passed, but thank you all for who took me up on that offer, and I'll offer free gifts in the future too.
Very cool.
Okay, 3 cards for the collective. Here we go. When's your next vacation?
Well, we're figuring out the move and being settled there. And
That's a
then
good time to go on a vacation to get away.
I think Meredith has to go away for some family stuff sooner than later. I'll probably be here. I think I'm going to be here through winter and spring. Annette, I kind of like this time of year.
Go to Vermont.
Yeah, I could.
You got to take a ski trip, Corey. Come on. You can't let the whole winter go by without going skiing.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Because you love to ski.
No, I don't. I can't ski
Or
anymore.
tubing or something.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I just be groovy somewhere.
I might go cross-country skiing or snowshoeing tomorrow.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
Yeah. Be fun. Okay, this week we're actually, this is really good for America. What I see is that we are going to start feeling the collective energy of our love for our country coming together, which actually is kind of in a way because the fascist party is becoming so heinous that we're like, whoa, no, we can, and like the whole, like, we're going to get rid of Medicare and Social Security. That whole thing is making people come together and realize that they love this country and they love, for some people it's like, I love my parents. I don't want them to suffer, but from not getting their Social Security and Medicare, right? So that love is going to start bringing people together with a unified voice and a strong energy of we're going to come together. We're not going to let this happen. So more of a sense of connectedness and family. We have to come together to make real change. We have to love one another to make real change. The Queen of Pentacles is there's some real strong justice coming down for Trump and for the fascists. Some very strong justice from women. So this feels like it's Fani Willis and Letitia James influence. That's about Trump. We're probably going to see a lot of news about him this week. My days are all mixed up. To me, it feels like Monday. I feel like we have like 5 days to go, but it's already Wednesday.
Yeah.
Check out the comet. Get up before dawn.
Yeah. There's a look for the green streak in the sky, folks.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll get an astrologer to come on with us.
Yeah.
Get Andre.
Yeah, we'll get Andre in here. And also, we're going to replay the Svetlana Rosgan interview either tomorrow night or Friday night. It can be up whenever. Check that out. It's the latest on the situation in Ukraine. And a lot of folks in our community donated to the cause. We saw Svetlana's friends were actually fighting for Ukraine, wearing and carrying the stuff that you donated to them. So it's an amazing story there too. So we can still help out. I think Annalie's been dropping in the link to for the Amazon wish list.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, so she's been doing that. So I'll drop that in. I don't have anything else really planned. I replay this show with Annette on Saturday nights as well, in case people want to be part of another live chat experience. I'll let you guys know more about the membership plan or any of the interviews we have lined up next week. And that we may, I think in 2 weeks' time, could try another little test show during the day at Andrew's place, Streamography.
I started a podcast too.
Yeah, good.
And we're going to do another one on the 8th. It's going to be, I'm going to interview my friend. He did get back to me. I have to get back to him. My friend Sean Galloway, also from Nashville, and he's a singer-songwriter who wrote a song called I Choose Love, or there's another version called We Choose Love. Excellent song. Check it out online, Sean Galloway. And I'm going to interview him on the 8th of the 9th, around then. So my podcast is called Spirit Talk Podcast. I'll tell you more about it as it gets more on social media. And also, if you go to my website, You have to type in .com, psychicannetdion.com, because you still need to type in the .com for it to pop right up. But everything I'm doing is there. Check it out.
There you have it, folks. Thanks for being with us tonight. We really appreciate it. As always, we love your support, virtually and otherwise. It was a fun live chat. So have fun, be safe. Annette, thanks for your gifts again. It was cool spending time with you this week.
You fun. And stay groovy.
Everyone stay groovy, folks. All right, we'll see you next time on the Psychic and the Sidekick. For Annette, I'm Corey. Adios for now.
Bye, thanks. See you soon.
Rice
Namaste.
Krispie tweets and peeps.
Totally.